What's up? What's up? What's up, Quay? How you doing?
I am fine. I'm excited. How about yourself?
Baby, can't believe we are back for another episode. This is episode 7. Can you believe we here?
I can believe it. With us being, I can believe it.
It's like, I don't even know how we got here, but I feel like each day is becoming better and bigger, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm super ready for what tonight is going to bring. We got some of the legendary, and I do mean legendary, coaches from the Dallas Metroplex area coming tonight to give their unfiltered opinions, their knowledge, their just everything that they have brought to the Dallas Metroplex, and even more beyond Dallas, because they have done competitions and shows nationally, and they have been in some places and seen some things, and I am ready to really get some more knowledge from them. I actually know them, but I think we both know them, but I just want to learn some more, because I feel like you can never know enough about a person, and I think there's some more things we will find out tonight. So I'm excited for tonight.
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear everything that they have to give and feed into us. So yeah, I know it's gonna be good. I know
it's gonna be an epic night, and we're going to definitely not waste any time. We're gonna get started, because I know the chat is about to get live in here, because baby, let me tell y'all, we put that flyer out and the girls went wild. And the guys went, wow. They were like, wait a minute, we gonna be there. What time is this podcast? Look, my messages was going in. They was like, what time, who and where, what do we need to be? And I'm like, look, I said, let me get myself together. I'm gonna put my little fedora on today. I said, let me get myself together, because we got the queens coming
in. You came ready, okay? You tell me, but it's okay.
Look, had to give you a little something different. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started, y'all. We're not gonna wait. Y'all know how we do it. We always start off with our opinion of what the state of the auxiliary is. So, Quay, give us what you believe the state of the auxiliary is this week.
I mean, you've already said it. It's going to be about the history of our legends this week. You know, what was behind the grand building of our community here in Dance? Who was behind it? How did you do it? So tell me, I want to know. because without them, what would it be like today?
Let me tell y'all, these are people that I have looked up to for decades. People who have poured in knowledge, people who have set the bar so high that I just even thought in my little lifetime, if I could just reach a measure of their bar, I'd be doing something. You know, a boy just you just want to dust my shoulders off, like, okay, can I just get a little bit of that light? But look, I don't deserve the praises these ladies are about to get. So we're gonna get into some things. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna give y'all my state. My state is really
Yeah,
good
Brandon,
question.
what is
Look,
your state of the
it's
auxiliary? We need to know.
it's this year is about our history, our legacies, and our legends. Ooh, that could have been a title, quite. That
Okay.
could have been a title.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna get into those things tonight. We're not gonna delay. We're gonna get into it. So let's go ahead and get through our announcements real quick so that we can do it. Y'all know we have our legends coming to talk to us tonight, our legendary coaches. We have Miss Iris Wesley Wyatt coming. Y'all know her from Lincoln Purple Flash. Y'all know her from the
Yes.
Orchesis Dance Company. Y'all know her from Dallas Unique. Okay, she has brought so many styles and so much knowledge and dancers through the Dallas Metroplex that I cannot wait for her to come in and shine her light tonight. We have the Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones, who we know from the Prairie View A&M Foxes. We know from Townview Magnet High School. We know from Wilma Hutchins High School. We know from ODY. We know from a range of places. And I cannot wait for her to come in and sparkle her glitter into this conversation tonight. We also have the Kayla Evans coming from the South Oak Cliff Pivoteers to show us how she's doing it to be in that legacy. Now, Kayla hasn't been coaching quite as long as Miss Forte, Miss Wyatt, but Kayla has definitely come in and put herself in a range of greats here in the Dallas Metroplex area. And I'm excited to see how she is going to put her spin in on this modern day of what, the state of the auxiliary may be for her. All right, so going in, we're going to go ahead and get started with a few of our announcements. Y'all know we like to always let people know about what's going on in the auxiliary world. There are still a few auditions left, and so we're going to do that. I'm going to put the flyers up. If you'll read them for us tonight.
Okay.
All right. If you can see
All
them.
right. So, Grambling State Orchesis Dance Company, their auditions, they've already had their last audition prep clinic April 6th. So if you needed to prep, it's over. It's too late. But you still have time prep for April 27th, which is their audition date. So you still have time for that. That is next Saturday, I believe, where auditions are held. So
yeah. Well, 2 Saturdays away. 2 Saturdays.
Right.
All right. So you still got 2 Saturdays there. All right. Next one.
We have our UAPB Golden Girls. Their auditions are being held at the Rodney Perham Suite 518, April 20th. Their auditions are hosted this weekend. The cost is $40 per participant, and you need to register by scanning the QR code here on the flyer. We
just did them. I'm sorry. But they do have scholarships available, so definitely keep in mind you can get a scholarship to dance.
All right, we have Jackson State Prancing J Sets. Their auditions are opening. They already closed the deadline for their applications. So the audition date and application fee deadline is due May 10th. It's already passed. And auditions are May 17th through the 19th in person.
And they just announced their captain too, baby. We got Alea coming in this, baby. They got Alea coming through.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Next one.
We have our fabulous dancing dolls from Southern University. Applications have opened March 15th, and they were due April 6th. So if you missed the deadline, I am sorry. The deadline has passed. In-person auditions are May 4th at the Isaac Greggs Band Hall. So you have time, a little bit of time to still prep for their auditions. We have the Silkette and Spartan Guard prep pre-audition training and auditions. They actually had one this past weekend on April 13th, and they have another one coming up May 4th, May 18th, June 1st, June 8th, and July 6th. They are from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
We have
Edward
our
Water.
Edward Waters University Tiger Dolls 2024 auditions, April 20th, which is this weekend, and April 21st, which is also this weekend. So if you are at Edward Waters University and want to be a part of the Tiger Dolls, tune in this weekend. We also have the Edward Waters Purple Passion auditions, which is also this weekend, April 20th. So make sure that you all are in attendance this weekend. Wow. We have the Electric Silk from SCSU Marching Band, and their tryouts are April 20th, which is this weekend at the Felton Gym. Their auditions start at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Charlie the Show said, "What was the last school?" It was both of the last two was Edward Waters. So their flag and their dance line was Edward Waters. Yes, we're trying to get that information out there. All right.
Ooh, we got the Panther Doll auditions this weekend, April 20th, 2024. The clinic was 2 to 4 p.m. Auditions are 4 to 6 p.m. You must be at both to attend.
Baby,
attire, you must wear a black sports bra, black spandex, dance, and tennis shoes. Reeboks are recommended. The audition fee is $50 per dancer, and they will be held in Leroy Moore Gymnasium. Excuse me.
Baby, everybody auditions is this weekend.
Okay, they get it out the way. We have the Royal Dolls flag line calling all the freshmen. So if you're a freshman, tune in, and you want to be a part of a flag line, tune in. Their auditions are held April 24th, 2024, and April 25th, 2024 at 5 p.m. at the, doesn't say, so.
It's okay, but they'll figure it out. All right, and we have our scholarship. Quay, go ahead and let them know about that scholarship.
We have our Defying Gravity Dance Scholarship. This scholarship is for anyone who dancers who identify as Black, African American, or Latin descent, currently enrolled as a high school senior with a 2.75 GPA on a 4.0 scale, currently dancing in a high school program or community dance team, intends to major in dance, minor in dance, or is selected to dance on a 2024-2025 HBCU dance line. The deadline for this application is April 15th. So tomorrow. You still have time to get it in tonight, okay? If you want the scholarship, for anybody who's dancing in high school and plans to be a part of a dance program, you have time.
Don't let the scholarship pass you up, y'all. So you still got time. Get on it tonight. Put in the little midnight oil, and let's go ahead and get that scholarship. Because like we said, your talents can take you far, and these scholarships will take you further. Amen. Yes, amen. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get into our next thing, guys. Y'all know our camp is coming up. That's right. The Auxiliary of the Collegiate Way camp is coming up June 3rd through the 7th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is going to be our public camp. We also are doing a private camp this year, the week prior to, and we're going to be putting some more information out about both of the instructors that are going to be coming out. You're going to see that information coming out soon. It is posted on the website. But we also will be housing the camp this year. I have not put the updated flyer on here, so forgive me. But we will be housing our camp, our camp this year at Cedar Valley Community College here in Dallas, Texas. So that is where the official location of the public camp will be, June 3rd through 7th. We are inviting anyone from 6th grade through community college age to come on out and be a part of this camp. We have people coming from some of the hottest teams. We got Motion of the Ocean, the Stingettes, the J-Sets, the Orcheses. We have the Dolls. We have oh baby, who am I missing? Golden
Girls.
We got the Golden Girls. We got them coming. Look, we got some good teams coming. And look, your registration will depend because they're Twirling Thunder. We got Platinum Girls. Look, we got a lot of people in. This is not just a dance camp, y'all. This is definitely a camp for all auxiliary. Okay. Yes. And you know what? I ain't gotta tell you this. I can show you. Let's show them.
Hey y'all, I'm Coach Quay.
And I'm Coach Brandon.
And we're inviting you to come join us at Auxiliary the Collegiate Way. You'll be getting trained by some of the best HBCU dancers in the SWAC. You'll be learning marches and struts, stance, and choreography. This is not your ordinary stand camp. You'll be learning some of the baddest field shows on the floor.
And this camp is not just for the dancers, it's also for our twirlers and our color guard. That's right, we have collegiate instructors coming specifically to train our twirlers and our color guards on the level it takes to be a collegiate twirler and a collegiate color guard on the field and in the stands.
Oh, and don't forget about the showcase.
That's right, the showcase. On June 7th, we're inviting you out to come support the campers as we put on a showcase. Last year's showcase was amazing, so imagine what this year's showcase will be. The camp dates are June 3rd through 7th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Camp registration per dancer is $150. However, if you are a team and you're going to be bringing 10 or more dancers, we have a special payment link for you. Hit us personally on the Passion in Performance contact. All right? Make sure you come out. Quay, let's get out of here. Hit him with the ocean beat. Oh, you ain't leaving me behind. I'm coming right after you, sis. I'm coming.
That never gets old.
Baby, look, laugh every time. It's instant laugh. Hey, look, if y'all think we playing about the level of what we're going to be bringing here in the at the camp, let me remind you of what we had last year. Every one of our instructors from last year is returning, and we've added some additional instructors this year with the potential to add more, but it's all based on you and who you're bringing to the camp. So definitely make sure we're going to be bringing out our instructor announcement soon. With all of the instructors, we're going to have private and public. So we definitely cannot wait for that. But this is just a quick reminder, and then we're going to get into our interviews because I'm ready to get into these legends tonight. So a real quick reminder of some of the powerhouses we brought to you last year. All right, y'all, here we go. My bad, y'all.
Hey, we coming, y'all. We coming.
He forgot to put it on the screen. All right, let's try that again.
You already know it's your boy Lil Scream. Gonna have the whole motherfucking world rocking in this. Baby, look at shout. Check out like it when she rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, she rock her hips, she rock her hips. Then wave and sip. Hey, look at them hips. I like how she rock it. She bring that thing over into the ground. She gon' drop it and pop it hard as she can. Got me hard in the pants because she all in her stance doing her mother dance, man. Look buddy cute in the face. She rock her hips to the bass. She take a sip and she wait and want to get with Lil J after she dance on that pole. I pull my can so quick and fast when that to the flow.
Now I got 32 flavors of that bootylicious bubble gum. Raspberry, grape, cherry, come and get this honey bun. Yummy, yum, baby, not your ordinary lady. Known to drive it crazy, Willy Wonka wanna baby. On the daily, off the hills, or rock my heels, or shake my skittles, soda pop it, watch it sizzle. Man, this shit right here for shizzle. Smoking on the highest drizzle, wanna taste it just a little. Rock my hips and make it wiggle, waving, sipping in the
I like it when she rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, she rock her hips, she rock her hips, then wave. I like it when she rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, then wave and sip. She rock her hips, she rock her hips, she rock her hips, then wave. I like it when she show me she can rock and roll and drop it to the floor. That's a slow, shout is all pro. That's the way to go. Tell her booty, ooh, we got a glancing every time that react. I thought a pretty cat. Give me that fake cat. No act on the bill. You got me enticed by the way you run them hips. You's a true girl doing all them tricks. That's what's up. I like that shit a lot. Come and holla at us, go.
I'm the top-notch glamour chick. Tell me if I throw it at you, baby, can you handle it? Cause the cause is rushing if I hate her, wanna run they lip. Step up in the club and have them whispering, got she said. Take it to the bar, hypnotic and Hennessy is so my seductively moving my body. Now watch me rock my hips, take a sip off the goose. I'm looking good and living lavish. Big boy pimping, popping, dipping. Now tell me I'm not the baddest.
I walked in the club and she wobbling and shaking. I wanna take her to the house, so a player start breaking in her mother back like a player supposed. Got little buddy, touch your toes. Got little buddy, take off your clothes and let me see that apple bottom in that brown booty. Shout it, slide up and down on that old VIP this high mother. I like it when she rock her hip, then wave and slip. She rock her hip, then wave and slip. She rock her hip, she rock her hip, she rock her hip, then wave. I like it when she rock her hip, then wave and slip. She rock her hip, then wave and slip. She rock her hip, she rock her hip, she rock her hip, then wave and slip. Hey, she rock her hip. Told y'all, she rock her hip. We gonna have the whole world rocking. Hey, 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 hey. I like the way she rock her hip. She rock her hip. We don't did it again, man. Hey, 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 crime on. Hey, hey. I like the way she rock music.
I love that video.
Baby, when I tell y'all the heat was in the building, and I cannot wait for this year's collab because we got some of the biggest coaches
I don't even know
through from the SWAC. So when we put that announcement of everybody we're going to be working with this year, whether they're in the private side or the public, because we got some that are for both sides, some that'll be doing both sides, some that's only doing one side. But when we put it out there, y'all going to be like, wait a minute now. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to get into it, y'all. I cannot wait. I hope y'all are ready. We're going to get into our first interview of the night, y'all. It is that time. We have given y'all all the announcements. We're giving y'all all of our opinions of the State Auxiliary. We know where we're going, but it's time to hear our first legend of the night. All right. She comes from the Yvonne A. Ewell Townview Magnet Center. She's retired now, but that's where she was. That's where we know her from. By way of the Hill through Prairie View A&M University. Her name is Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones, who, I mean, she's gonna give you lady sass in class. She's where I learned that, look, ladies don't open their legs. So when we dance, we're gonna keep them legs closed. Okay. We're not opening them. Okay. And I'm just here for all of that. That classy side, and she's gonna bring her up now and let her introduce herself. So y'all give it up to our first guest of the night, Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones.
Hey. Oh, we can't.
Hold on, I think you're on mute. No, okay. So that I know what happened. Do me a favor, exit. Completely go out and come back in. I'm gonna kick you out and then I want you to come back in. We just a technology issue. Y'all give us a second. Look, it happens sometimes. I'm gonna kick her out. Okay, I put her out. She's gonna come back in so she can get in. Y'all, you're gonna have to get okay. Hold your applause, hold your statements, and we're gonna bring her back up in just a second. Okay? We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. It's just a little typhoon. All right, but y'all, we cannot wait. Look, we have the ladies here. They are in the back and they are ready to school us tonight. I got my pencil and pad ready because I'm taking notes from some of these legends, because although I've heard from them in so many forms, I know they're gonna drop some gems tonight. I know they are. I feel it in the atmosphere. I feel it. So I got full spiritually at church today. I'm gonna get full tonight through the auxiliary tonight. I'm ready. Okay. Ooh, Quay, what are you hoping for out of this conversation tonight while we're waiting on her to enter the room?
Honestly, I just want to hear everything that they've endured to be where they are today. So I'm just waiting on them to tell me everything I need to soak up as a, coach myself. So I'm just excited to get some advice, get some history, and just ready to hear them speak. I'm here for everything.
I am here. I'm just making sure Miss Forte knows what we said. I don't think she could hear us, and I want to make sure. So I just sent her a message. Y'all give us just a second. We're gonna bring her up. Okay. Now, while we're waiting on her to get back in the room real quick. Again, we do know Miss Forte to be here. Like I said, this is Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones. We know she has received her honorary doctorate, and she has been named that. So she's here. She was a Prairie View A&M Black Fox, one of the originals. She was on the second line ever of the Black Foxes. And I mean, we know the Black Foxes come from a history of legacy, y'all. This is when the Foxes wore the froze and they had the little crowns at the front of their head. So this is definitely a little bit of
I live for the fro.
That came through the Foxes, and it's just takes us back to a time before the weave. Okay, before we had the bundles, before we did all the braids. It just takes us back to the time when we enjoyed our natural hair and all the things they gave us. And it just really takes us into a piece of nostalgia that sometimes I'm not even going to say, I kind of wish I could see this again. In some form. I would love to see the modern take on what this would look like in modern form. We have a rare color picture here of them. I think I just heard her come back in. Okay, so we're about to bring her back up, but this is a rare picture. Miss Forte in this picture is actually on second to the right end. Okay, second to the right end. So you're getting to see a colored picture of what the time was like back in that day. Look at the froze. Them froze are big and magnificent. The pieces in the front. But we're going to bring her back up because she is back in the building, and we're going to give her this introduction again. So just like we never left, okay, y'all give it up for the Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones.
My goodness, you are so great at this. I'm loving this. This auxiliary thing is what's happening. I'm loving this, and I'm so proud of you guys. So proud. Thank you for having me.
No,
I appreciate that so much. That means a whole lot to, I know, myself and my family and all of the people who stand behind me. We're proud of you guys, and we thank you. So what is it that you want me to do right now?
We want you
to talk about myself just a little bit?
Yes, brag about yourself, please.
Well, it's been a long 42 years, okay?
Yes.
Of a career that I believe was given to me by the master himself, God the Creator. So this story and this journey, it goes all the way back to childhood, okay? It goes, and I'm not going to take you all the way back, but it goes all the way back there. Where I started in Singing Hills Recreation Center right here in Dallas, Texas. I began to teach little kids ballet and tap that I self-taught myself. And then I began to teach little kids in the Singing Hills Recreation Center every summer. And I did that right up until I came out of high school. But before I came out of high school, I was in my junior high year at Sarah Zumwalt Middle School, and I wanted to be a part of the dance team there. And it turned out that I could not be because of some things that my parents could not do at that time. But that really struck a nerve, and it really did a few things to me. And I just felt like I wasn't worthy of being on a dance team. So I thought, well, you know what? I'll just falling down. I'll just dust myself off and get back up, and we'll try this again. And I went on to high school, where I graduated from, which was Wilmer Hutchins High School. And I was a cheerleader in high school. And so that really gave me a perk, and that boosted me. And I went on off to college, and my parents, they didn't know about, colleges and universities back then. So I signed my papers, and I decided I wanted to go to PV. And so that's what I did. I went to PV, and I tried out for the cheerleader since I was a cheerleader at my high school. I tried out for cheerleader, and I was a cheerleader at Prairie View my freshman year. And after that, I saw these beautiful girls come marching down the way there on that one street. We only had one street you go in, and you one way in and one way out. So, but I saw these beautiful girls, and I thought, oh my, that is just wonderful. I wonder if I'm able to do that. And it came to be that I ended up on that line. And it was amazing at the time, because at that time, I think I was on the second line. So I'm one of the original individuals that started on that line. And thanks to my director at that time, she really poured a lot into me. And I became really, really good at that, not knowing that with her help and pouring that into me, I just did not know that I would end up having a career in doing that my whole, continuing almost here at the age I am now. And it lasted over 42 years in dealing with dance and all of that. But I started out dancing, but then when I left college, I went on to Wilmer Hutchins. I went back to the school where I graduated from, and I was the dance majorette instructor there under Mr. Simpson, Bobby Simpson, and he and I worked together. And I think that I believe, and the people say I did, but I believe that I brought a lot of talent to that group, and they flourished, and they really, really did well. And I did that for about 3 years, and then I went on to the state of California, where I worked at Clovis West High School. Now, this was a big change for me, because at Clovis West, they had put me over the auxiliary. And so I just did not want to be outdone there and I was one of the only African Americans there. So, and I'm over this whole group now. I've got, ma'am, you've got to do flags, you've got to do rifles, you've got to do batons, you've got to do streamers, and you're going to do the dancers too. And so I thought, this is a big pill to swallow. And I just did not know how I was going to do all of that. But then I thought I had to start putting my brain cells together, and I had to start thinking synergy, streamline. You've got to go into this with the resilience of the ideas and the creativity that you have. Mm-hmm. And so I had to jump in there, and I had to pick up a baton and teach myself. And then I had to move on to the next group while I got this group over here working, and they're doing the rifles. So I had to teach myself how to do rifles, and so on. So I ended up being the director of the auxiliary. It was no longer a major red line. It was a dance team and everything that poured into that. So I had a big job there, and that lasted for some years, and I got better at it, because I would not be outdone.
I love that.
So after that, I went on to the university in my master's program at the University of North Carolina, A&T, in Greensboro, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And there were some young ladies there, and I was in that program, but there were some young ladies, they saw me twirling outside in the hallway, trying to teach this other little girl that was going to be on their line. And so they said, wait a minute, hold on. Can you teach us that? And I was like, yeah, no problem, So as I was in that program, I helped those young ladies. And then when I got finished at North Carolina A&T, I came on back I went back to California, and then I ended back up in my hometown of Dallas. Yes. Well, not Dallas, it was Fort Worth. Fort Worth, Texas. And I ended up teaching at O.D. Wyatt High School, where here again, I was put over that dance team over there, and the twirlers and the flags. When they found out that, hey, this young lady could deal with the whole thing, the auxiliary. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay. So I learned how to strategize. I learned how to use my analytic thoughts and creativity, in my mind. I learned how to use my body to work with these apparatuses so that I could, possess the skill thoroughly and be productive and excelling and getting the performance done. And that was the nature of my career. That was the nature of my talent being put to work with all of the synergy that I had, all of my energy and synergy. That was my cup of tea, and it was my baby. And so I left there, and I left Fort Worth. I worked there 5 years, and I came on into A. Maceo Smith High School. I worked with Cecil Neal at A. Maceo Smith. And of course, at Fort Worth, it was Hamp. They called him Hamp, like Mr. Hamilton. That was his name. There was a band director there. So I know all the band directors all over the place here in the state where I live. So I went on to A. Maceo Smith, and lo and behold, auxiliary again. So here I was over the twirlers and the cheerleaders here, and we built that program. And of course, all the while I'm doing this, I'm the theater director as well. So I'm wearing 3 or 4 hats and growing programs all at the same time, and building teams and relationships with young women who possess and want to do this type thing in the future. So God has planted me in these areas to do this. Now, all the while, in my growing up, I was always in the church. Even before I left and went to California, I was minister of music at a church here in Dallas and Jacque. I was a minister. And when I left that, my mom had played for a church here in Dallas. And when my mom passed away, I took over. I was a minister of music at that church. So ministry and auxiliary. It's real. It's real. It's real. And sometimes you ask, what sustained you? What sustained you? So I went on after I left A. Maceo Smith, and Town View Magnet Center was not even built yet. And I'm the theater, like I said, I was wearing 2 hats. And so the theater program came into play, and I was hired to be the director and the technical director of Town View Magnet Center. And however, I went on to bring in the dance team, the Royalettes, with Mr. Dean Hill. And Dean Hill and I started that program, and I started my theater program, and I ran my theater program and my auxiliary program for the next 19 to 20 years. And I had a successful program under the band director, Mr. Hill. And we worked side by side. And when we came out in Dallas, I thought we had done a great job. And everybody had, thoughts about Town View. And I love Town View. I was the first person to, those young ladies came on, and I started the Miss Texas program with the Miss Town View. I think I was the first person to take Miss Town View to Miss Texas. Yes, I was. And I began the debutante programs there at Town View as well. So I had auxiliary twirlers, I had the dance team, the rifle team, the whole full auxiliary, plus the theater program, plus growing young women to do some of the things that they wanted to do in life. And I supported them on those things. So I had a full career, blessed. I was blessed to have people around me that that shared the same sentiments that I had. They were innovative, and I'm speaking to someone that's sitting here right now. But this individuals was so innovative and so working with me so that we could achieve our goals, and to make sure that the performances were in play and they were getting the skills that they needed. And I had people there working with me. I had a team, and this team was great to me, and I will forever pour my heart out to them and thanking them for the things that they put forth to do. And that too is still there, because we grew a bond. And not only the people that work with me, but the girls, and we became a family.
Mm-hmm.
We became a family. And everyone, like right now, we have a sense of belonging. I called up one of my dancers, she's an attorney, to do a show with me. And I just popped up and called Amber Hamilton. And she answered, she's an attorney. And then when I needed someone else, I called Dr. Henrietta Mathis, who was one of my dancers. And then we go on, and it's Chelsea Jones, who has her doctorate right now. And then it's Jareen Turner. And then I've got Edwina Henderson, and I've got Tianiqua Haywood. And then Ashley Reedy is a dance instructor at her school. And then you got Shamiria Hall that went all the way to Prairie.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, these individuals inside the family, a sense of belonging. So dancing and all of the auxiliary apparatuses that go with that, and they had to do everything. I mean, if you were going to come to Townview under my direction, you had to dance, you had to twirl, you had to streamer, you had to rifle, all of it. And someone said, and when we started out, we were winning. We were winning for a long time. And these other schools, they were coming too, because they were just as good. So all of Dallas, all of these bands in Dallas, they worked hard, they came, they competed against us, and we were afraid sometimes. We were definitely afraid, because they were working just as hard as we were, and we gave them their props. Kimball was on task, Lincoln was on task, Carter was on. Everybody just had a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of creativity, and they brought their own styles. Mm-hmm. And when those styles poured into those stadiums, OMG, it was awesome. And now that we're here in this day and time, and I've moved out the way. I'm kind of over to the side right now, but they're bringing a new energy into the system right now, and it's going to be their own. It's going to be their own, and I'm going to be accepting it. Why? Mm-hmm. Because there's a new tech savvy thing that's going on that's helping these people along to grow their programs, and it's looking good. It's looking good. I can't take anything away from what's coming at us now. This program, this program that I'm on right now, you guys' program, awesome. And this is going to grow a lot of the individuals coming. So I'm great. I went on. I said that when I retired from Townview Magnet Center, and I said, since my whole career, starting with my mom and the church, in ministry and the minister of music for 3 or 4 different churches in my career, I always wanted to make sure that I got the highest of the highest in divinity, because that's what my mom wanted me to be. She wanted me to be a great speaker in that area. So I went on to get my doctorate in divinity. And once I did that, then the honorary came along. And so all of that came along because I spent so much time with all of my children. I spent a lot of time, and I never had time for myself, but I had the opportunity to go to school after I retired and get those accolades that I wanted to have. And so now I'm a happy camper sitting back, and I'm watching all of the great things that the other schools and all of the other band directors and students that are coming this way. I'm just applauding them because they're doing some great things.
Let's just read some of these comments because she gonna school us. Let's read some of the comments real quick, and then we're gonna get ready for our next. All right, so Achwachuka is in the building. She said, "Hey, Miss Forte, definitely had a sassy and super classy." Kiana Lynn said, "Love that every OG you've had on this podcast have had experience in all auxiliary sports and great perspectives." Brandy Nicole said, "You did an amazing job. I love being a part of your team and learning from you." Achwachuka came back and said, "Yes, ma'am," and the legendary mandatory red lip. All right. And you had a comment over on Instagram. We cannot put those comments on our screen, but over here says Sakura Tania says, "OMG, Dr. Jones, you gave me a shot at Townview as the flag captain, grad of 2010. Phenomenal teacher. TMCC." So they are the love for you, Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones. Look, we just got a glimpse of the magnitude of this woman, and she tried to condense it because, baby, she trusts things. But we're gonna drop you down, Ms. Forte. We're gonna bring up our next guest, but we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna have this panel interview, and you're gonna get to hear more of her take, her opinions, and all the things that she has to weigh in tonight. Thank you, Dr. Forte. We're gonna drop you down.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, y'all. We're moving into our next, y'all. That's just one of the
already got a lot
that we have coming. Our next guest, y'all, she is another one of those who have been at the beginning of something. She has a legacy that is as rich as the dreads in my hair. Okay, it runs long. She has a fandom that walks behind her. I mean, she has a group of people that when I say she say go, baby, they be on ready. And I was like, baby, look, if I could ever have just a little of that, but I'm here for it because she deserves all of her flowers. And we're going to pop up our next guest now, baby. She started with the Orchesis Dance Company back at Grambling State University. And if you don't know who's in this picture, baby, she's on that bottom right over there, that bottom right front row. Okay, because she definitely does not give back row energy. She's a front row girl on that bottom right-hand side. I want y'all to get ready and welcome our next guest in, y'all. Y'all know her, maybe from Purple Flash. Y'all know her, maybe from Lincoln High School. Y'all know her, maybe from the GSU. But baby, Miss Iris Wesley Wyatt is about to school the girls. And we know she is. Y'all give it up for Miss Iris.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
Fine. How about yourself?
I am doing great.
That is
absolutely amazing.
Yes, I didn't even say Dallas Unique, but yes, Dallas Unique too, y'all. Thank y'all for keeping me up. Look, trying to remember all these accolades, baby. They come with the accolades. Miss Wyatt, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can you please give us some of your rich history and what brought you to who we know you to be today?
Oh my God, this is a hard act to follow Miss Forte, baby. She laid it down. Well, I will start off with dance saved my life. When I was in middle school, my parents were going through a divorce, and I was like just going crazy. Like I was bad. I was standing on top of just telling the subs what we were not gonna do as a class. And the crazy part about it, the whole class is following me, and I'm probably like 4 or 5, less than 100 pounds, but everybody's following me. But and my mom came and she was like, I gotta do something with you. I gotta get you involved in something. So I started to get in the Dallas Black Metropolitan Twirlers is where I first got my start to actually start to dance. And we traveled all over the nation, all it was everywhere, twirling and dancing as a young person. So then I went to Skyline and I started to all right, girl. I started to dance on the Skyline Silhouettes. And of course, we had 70 black girls. We had 70 girls, and only 11 of us were black. So, they had never had a African American that had the skin tone of mine. Most of them were pretty fair. So, of course, I'm one that's never going to be denied. I feel confident in myself. I feel confident in my Blackness. So, I really put forth a huge effort to become the first Black captain. Of course, I didn't make it because they weren't ready for that at that time. But I was the first co-captain, which I really kind of ran the team anyway. So from there, experiencing that, I was like, okay, I want to do something different. This white experience is not for me. I want to go deeper in my Blackness. So of course, I chose Grambling State University, where I really learned how to dance, baby. When I first got to Grambling State University, baby, they were twirling all over the room. I mean, pirouette turns. I mean, just technique beyond technique. I mean, they were doing things I had no idea what they were, Mm-hmm. But I was that go-getter girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not gonna be denied, and they were like, girl, don't worry about it. Freshmen don't dance their first year. Because at Grambling, it's not a set line. All the other teams, there's a set line. You try out, you make it, and you're on the line. Right. Not at Grambling. It's 30, 40 girls in the dance room, and they dancing with 12, 10, and you gotta become part of that number. So, baby, I had to fast track my technical ability, and I was one of the first freshmen to travel. And that travel game was one of the hottest games of the year, which is the Battle of the Bands in New Orleans, the Bayou Classic. So I got there, and then Diamond Ronnie Grigsby, that lady took me under her wing, and she taught me what technique is about. And so that's my foundation of who I am as a dancer. I'm about technique. You can buck, you can do all the wonderful tricks, but if your passe is not passeing, because a lot of people want to put their foot at their calf muscle, and just because they're turning, they think it's right. No, sir, no, ma'am. You need to put that passe has to be up at the knee or higher, and you must pull up in your sternum. All of that has to resonate in your body for me to respect you as a dancer. And a lot of people have a tendency to say, you're hard. It's not that I'm hard, it's because I had a hard road to toe. And when you had a hard road to toe and no one like made you do it, you had to go do it, you had to study. And back then I didn't have YouTube and all those other things. I had to be in a room with other girls, ask my instructor for videotapes, study those people so that I could become who I became. So, I'm really serious when it comes to technique. Port de bras, people say port de bras, what's that? That's the first thing lets me know you don't know nothing about dance. Because that's all about the arms placement. When people place their arms straight to the side and they say second position, but you can't see your arms, you're out of position. When you're down, you're in second position plie and your seat is below your knees, you are out of position. So you see those teams, they be butterflying with their knees. That is bad for the kids' knees. All those type of things that just grinds my goat. Like why y'all messing these kids up where they're not gonna be able to walk when they're 35? That kind of stuff. So technique is really, really serious with me. So from there, at Grambling State University, I went on to teach at Lincoln. And I started, which is called Purple Sensation. I created the majorette dance team, and because Purple Flash was taken. So I created that team, and I named that team Purple Sensation. And then at one point, the drill team director left, and I had to take over both teams. So from there, I had Purple Sensation, Purple Flash, and then I had boys who wanted to dance, so I created Purple Suave, and then Purple Satin, which is the flag team. So at one time I had all auxiliary teams, just like Miss Forte. I guess once you get in it, you start to learn it all, right? So I did all of those teams, and then I hit the glass ceiling, because in high school you can only deal with high school kids, and I found myself a lot of times I wasn't fed quality. I was fed some good girls, like so I had some girls who wanted to eat, but I had to train them, and that's kind of hard to do. And it's kind of unfair to them that they get to high school and they don't know what first position is. That's pretty bad. So I created Dallas Unique Dance Company, of which for past 7 years. Dallas Unique Dance Company was where I can touch a kid from the age of 4 all the way to 18. So that helped me give them the foundation that they need early. Let's see. I think you guys asked about that greatest performance. I remember y'all, it was out of the band. I can't remember the name of the dance, but y'all, we had ladders, and my girls were dancing in character shoes. Baby, and it was pouring down raining. I mean, like pouring down raining. But we had practiced so hard. And that's why I have this statement. How you practice is how you perform. So it doesn't matter if it's raining. It doesn't matter if it's hailing. It doesn't matter if it's dark and you can't see. What matters is your body is going to remember exactly what you taught it, and it's going to execute. Y'all, when I say them girls executed in the pouring down rain in character, and I didn't just do 1-inch character shoes. I had to be extra. So they had 2-inch character shoes on ladders dancing in the rain. That is the most memorable performance that I can definitely remember. Do y'all have any questions for me? I don't want to go on and on.
Quay.
The performance you're talking about, I remember being at that Battle of the Bands. I believe it was at the Dallas ISD Stadium. Correct? I was in 6th grade, I remember. And when I saw that performance, I was like, okay, I think I want to go to Lincoln. I think I want to go there. I'm so intrigued by the dance team. And I thought the girls were beautiful. They were poised. They looked great. Their uniforms were beautiful. They looked amazing. So I will say you were on it. You had me in. I loved it.
Thank you. And I always want to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Everyone,
that was very different.
Always does, just dancers or just whatever. I always want to do something that you haven't seen, or something to take everything to the next level, because my girls always push me for greatness. They would come in, they'd be like, I like this move. Can you teach me how to do that? I'm like, yeah, let's get it done. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love my girls so much, because they make me better. Right. So one of my dancers named Leslie Carter, right?
I remember Leslie.
I did. Yes, baby. Leslie's the bomb. Leslie was like, I want to do a spring show. All these white schools are doing spring shows, baby. We start doing spring shows every year. You know what I'm saying? In order to do spring shows, you gotta have about 30 dances. So we have to be creative. We have to just throw it out there. So yeah, my girls make me great. So I take no credit in it. From the time I started, which is in 2000 at Lincoln High School, until now, my girls make me great.
I love that.
Baby,
I love that you give recognition to your girls too.
I hope y'all are getting these notes that are coming through, baby, because the legends are legending. Okay. Hashtag legend legending. Okay. Y'all, look, I want to read a few of the comments in case you didn't get them over on Instagram, because we cannot put those up. But you have someone that came in that said Raiders, Skyline Silhouette.
Hey.
Already. Crawley, WRAE. I hope I said that right. And then, of course, baby, look, you got people coming in. Sherry Slaughter saying, hey, girl. Tony, Denisha, absolutely love her.
Hey, girl.
It's the technical dance terminology for me. Sherry Slaughter, yes, she is very serious about technique. Sherry Slaughter, I remember that, and they did the thing, okay? Kiana Lynn, I remember that routine. It was flawless. Sherry Slaughter, my Lord, she's always outside the box. So you got lots of love coming in, and there are many more in the chat, but they're definitely coming in. Y'all don't be scared to put the comments in. Let them know how much you appreciate each and every one of them, because they all are bringing the heat tonight. Miss Iris, I just really quickly wanted to ask a question, and then I'm gonna let you go.
Let me add one more thing in there real quick.
Go ahead.
Let me add one little thing in there. I just want everybody to know that I was not just a dancer. I started off with Dean Hill from Townview. He was over the CNC Children's production when I was at John Neely Brown Elementary, and I was in the band. I started off in the band. I was first clarinet, by the way.
You know, I can relate to that because although a lot of the dancers know me from dance or whatever, I was a band kid. I played like 9 different instruments. So I have a passion for music. I started with instrumentation. I started with piano. Okay. So I love instrumentation. So I definitely understand. And it makes you, in my opinion, it makes you such a better dancer and teacher because you understand music and you get the rhythm and the pattern. So definitely, if you have any background, any instrumentation, it's going to make you stronger. Oh, okay. So I have one question for you. My question was, you started off twirling with a community twirl team. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so
Christian at OW Homes.
And y'all twirled specifically, or y'all twirled and danced? I want to make sure I heard that correctly.
We twirled and danced.
Okay, y'all see. So again, we've been talking about for weeks how all of these really marry each other. I know a lot of times in the show style band we separate the units, but this just goes back to show you that in her younger years they were marrying these auxiliary units together, and so they really do go hand in hand. I know we like to separate and isolate, but if you know one, you really should know the other because it makes you stronger.
Well, you know, when you go to the foundation of dance, when all of it comes together, right? The foundation of dance started off in ballet, right? So everything branched off from dance. And to be honest, the very first ballerinas were not female; they were male.
Here she come with that history. I told y'all. She gonna school us tonight. I knew I was gonna be in school. Let me go on and get right there down. All right, y'all, give it up for Miss Wyatt. She's gonna join us back in a few moments. We're gonna give her a quick break, and we're gonna bring up our third guest, y'all. So we'll see you just momentarily again, Miss Wyatt, and we're gonna get into the things with our panel interview. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Look, we 2 down, 1 to go. But baby, look, she ain't coming in with no lightweight. She's a little younger than the other 2, but baby, look, she's carrying some of her own weight, and she's still carving out her legacy. Now, we love that these ladies come from a rich history. If you notice, all of them have a collegiate background. They not only just talking the talk, they walked the walk, okay? They went and did the things on the collegiate level to have the information needed to have. And to coach and to teach everyone, okay? Our next guest, baby, she is a fox. Of course, baby, we know them black foxes run deep, okay? She is a fox, baby. She be in her uniforms. She was dancing and giving the girls. She comes from a different era than Miss Forte. However, she still was under that charade era, so she definitely understands a different style of fox. And even from Forte's era to her era, there are differences. We want to welcome our next guest, legendary coach, and still building her legacy right now. We want to welcome Miss Kayla Evans, the director for the South Oak Cliff Sock Pivoteers. Y'all give it up and come on in the chat and let Miss Kayla Evans know how much you feel about her. Hey, Kayla.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Ooh, yeah. How are you
Good.
doing?
I'm
Good,
doing
good.
real good. I'm really over here pumped up after just listening to Dr. Forte and Miss Wyatt. I just know that I feel like, first of all, like I'm not even privileged to even be a part of this title that they hold because, I'm much younger than them and I don't have as much experience. So, but I am inspired more than anything. And so I'm just glad to even just be able, I'm just honored to be able to even be a part of this show, with those two. Like that's some hard, a hard place to come in after those two. But I really like to represent for the more modern times, in the transitioning that's going on, and some of the things that I still plan to do in the future. If God say the same, I'm still here, so I'm doing good and I'm ready for whatever questions y'all have for me.
But first things first, go ahead and give us some history about yourself. Let us know. Let us know who you are.
Okay, so I'm Kayla. I'm from Oak Cliff. I'm from South Oak Cliff area. I actually went to South Oak Cliff, so I'm alumni there where I'm coaching at currently. I've been wanting to be a dancer since I can remember, just as a little girl seeing ballerinas on TV, and that's one thing that I could never actually do as a child. I could never be a part of anything that has to do with dance. If it costs money or if it means that somebody got to take you and pick you up and drop you off, I couldn't be a part of it. And my first memory was, I remember my family members asking me, "Hey, what you want to do when you grow up?" And I was like, "Well, I want to be a dancer. I want to be a ballerina." And they was laughing like, "Oh no, that's something you can't do. That's not a career. You got to pick something that's gonna make you some money, And right. And academically, I was real good in the classroom. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do whatever, who get paid a lot. I'm gonna be a doctor, so that's what I chose. Looking forward. So I didn't really look forward to dance from there moving forward. And I seen my friends, and even if it was just cheerleading, Pop Warner cheerleading or just getting training, I could never really be a part of any of those things. So I didn't start off as a dancer though. I did come in first as a majorette. And how that happened was when I was in middle school, my best friend's mom was actually working at Townview with Dr. Forte. And so her daughter, which was my best friend, became a part of Dr. Forte's program and started out twirling. And I kind of spent a extended period of time with her and her family. So I would just be so jealous seeing her with this baton walking around twirling and talking about Miss Forte. And then I would even go to Townview with her and watch them practice. And I'm like, man, I want to do that, But once again, I couldn't be a part of anything. At one point, I went to Atwell Middle School. And so at one point I snuck on a team. Like I snuck on it was like a step team. It was like a step team. I was like, you know what? I'm going to miss the bus. I know I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm going to see what they say. If I tell them I done joined this team, I must have got the whooping of my lifetime. When they called, where you at? I didn't show up for home. So I was like, you know what? Just forget it. But I had a plan in mind. And my plan was, when I get to high school, I'm going to SOC because we live walking distance from SOC. And whatever I got to do, that's what I'm going to do to get on the team. And so once I got to South Oak Cliff my freshman year, I joined the twirl team. That's all I wanted to do. I saw them with the leotards, with the sequin. And at that time, drill team was still with the precision drill with the boots and the petticoats. And so that didn't interest me. That style of dance didn't interest me, but the twirlers, they was bringing it, and they was like the it girls. So I joined the twirler team, and that was really fun. And then it just so happened my sophomore year was the year that the Pivoters did transition from the drill team style to the HBCU style. So what happened was they got a new coach, and she brought in someone from Jackson State. And they came and they trained the Pivoters. And it was like the first game of the season my sophomore year. And I'm still a twirler at this time. I'm in the stands with the twirlers. And I saw them, and it was the applause
that they got from the audience that we had never experienced. And that was like, I was like, oh no, I'm joining that team. And I literally was on the team the next week. Like everybody was so upset. They was like, how she just get on the team? She didn't go to camp with us and none of that. But the coach, she was just like, oh, I see you out there. You look real nice when you be out there marching. And she just let me on the team. And so I was there to witness that complete transition, as we still wore the boots, the Nancy boots, but we were in leotards. And from there, it really became, the dance was a big deal then, so that's kind of how that happened. And then, but I had no technique. That's one thing I can say. I never was able to learn any technique. Everything I did from that point on was pretty much self-taught. And then once I got to Prairie View, and I remember going to the Black Fox audition, and I walked in there and I had my little leotard on and I got my little number. No, I didn't even get the number. When I walked in, I saw all these girls with their parents. They were walking around twirling and spinning, and I had never seen any technique. And I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna make this team at all. And so I walked off. I was headed back to my dorm. And one of the current Foxes, she knew me from high school, from Roosevelt. She came and caught up with me and she was like, where are you going? I remember you. Because at one point we danced with Roosevelt, we collabed with them. And she was like, I'm telling you, you got a chance. You do so good. And I'm like, I'm not going in there with them. And so she encouraged me to come back. And when I came back, and that's how the memory is so vivid, because I was the last. So she convinced me to come back, and I was number 84. And I'm like, it's 84 girls, and they said they picking 19. Ain't no way, And so I ended up making a team, and I was really in disbelief, because one thing that I was trying to hide, that I had to hide real well, was my right leg. It was born deformed. I was born with a deformed leg. So I can't do a split on my right. I can't do a real good high kick on my right. It's just mediocre. And so I was like, whatever I do, I'm gonna overcompensate, and that's how I kind of got noticed. That was what my strength was, my energy and charisma, the facial expressions and things like that, because I had to overcompensate for where I was lacking. On top of that, I didn't have any formal training. And Dr. Sherrod, our coach, she was like, well, I'm going to put you in some dance classes since you've never had technique. And I actually got enrolled in those classes, but I sat on the floor because I was very intimidated. I never learned anything, because she put me in a advanced class. It was like, I don't know, dance 3. And I'm just like, what? I ain't even had the beginning. So these girls doing across the floors and they sashaying and, pot beret, and I didn't know how to do any of those things. So I never really had no formal training. And so once I graduated from Prairie View, I ended up, my major was biology. So I'm a science teacher, and I still am a science teacher. And so that's what I came to SOC for. I came there to teach science. My mind really wasn't on dance anymore at that time, especially because I didn't finish out my last year being a Black Fox, because it was so hectic being a science major, and I was preparing to go to med school. I found out that wasn't my thing, med school. So I ended up going to SOC and becoming a teacher. And one day, we had a new principal. She hadn't been there but a month at the time. She came in and she was like, somebody told me that you had some type of experience with dance. I was like, yeah. She's talking about, well, we need a coach. We need one like today. Are you able to do that for the PWIs? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so, and I became a coach overnight. And she was like, okay, well, next weekend they got a parade, and then in about 2 weeks I need you to put together a spring show. And I'm like, I don't even know what a spring show is. So that's how I started as a PWI coach. It was just like an overnight thing, and I ended up adapting. It was very, very hard. I got a lot of pushback, and once I got acclimated with the girls and I started realizing how much I loved it, I'm like, wow, I didn't see God working behind the scenes the whole time, up until the point where I'm saying it's so much that I don't know, that natural talent is one thing, but skill is a whole nother. And you can be great if you put the two together. So I started on my own seeking, ways to learn new things. And I self-taught myself, kind of like what Miss Dr. Forte was saying. I taught myself, and so that I could teach them and get them prepared. And so here it is 9 years later, and that's how I came about really liking dance. I never was on a competitive side. I didn't want to compete. I really just enjoyed the girls. I really, really did. Because dance is a ministry for me, I know it was something that God brought me to, and but we did go to I think my first year of coaching, my second year of coaching, we went to a battle of the bands, and for the first time we placed, and I was like, oh, you know what, I might be okay at this. So that's how I kind of started. Never had that type of confidence. That was never even on my mind. And once I saw that motivated me to just keep going, keep trying new things, be more creative. And I got really, really into the creative side of field show. So field show is my thing, so that's all.
Great. So with you being a Black Fox, could you tell me a little bit about like your experience there?
Whew, my experience. As a Black Fox, I was a Black Fox during a time where I feel like we were really limited. It was a big difference for me. I actually had more fun in my high school team because number one, we couldn't wear our hair down. We had to have our buns, and we had our makeup. But my experience we didn't travel a lot back then. They're able to go to different things now. We only did home games or battle of the bands. So the biggest memory was just going to the greatest experiences were going to Honda Battle of the Band or when we played TSU. And it was really just fun. It was a sisterhood for me. I met a lot of girls. We are all still friends, and that's what I do love about that organization. Like alumni, we like stick together. It's Fox for life with us. So all I remember is just like walking around campus and just like, hey, we Foxes. We see each other. We do the sign and we travel. We waiting around for those Battle of the Bands. Honestly, so that's what my experience was like.
So, just one question, and then there's some comments I want to read. So you talked about not being classically trained, and I know that conversation is going to be in our parent interview. Don't worry, but I know that not everybody is afforded the opportunity at a young age to get trained. I know some people are able to seek it. You sought it out, in your adulthood. Miss Wyatt spoke on it, that she sought it out during college and got it there. Some people get it, some people don't. What would you say to someone who wants to move forward in dance, but they're not afforded the right, or maybe they don't have that support? Like you said, you didn't have the support, it cost money. What about the kids these days that do not have those same privileges? How would you encourage them to not drop the passion and continue, even though they don't have the technical training or opportunities that some others may be afforded?
First thing I'm going to do is tell them my testimony and back that up with, first, I need you to go talk to God, and He's the one who gave me that talent, and seek Him. And it's not going to be an overnight thing, but seek Him in a way that He will direct you in what you can do about that, because everybody don't have the same abilities in dance either. Like for me, for example, I'm not as flexible as the average dancer, but I will tell them to, whatever you want, you have to go after it according to whatever your ability is. So I would just send them directly to the creator, because that's what I go for. That's my go-to for everything. And then He'll direct their paths. He'll put you in line and connections with people who are in position to put you there. There are people on earth that are already destined to be there for you and to help you along that path. And the key is you got to be in alignment with Him so you can even hear from Him and to follow whatever it is that He's guiding you in. Because if it's in your passion, if it's a passion, it's really in your heart, you're not the one who put it there. He put it there. And so I would tell them for sure to go to the source, and He's going to send you the resources.
Beautiful statement. I'm not even going to follow up with that because I think that did what it needed to do. All right. So some of the comments that were coming in, some of the comments that are coming in. This last one was actually to Miss Iris, Miss Wyatt. She says, "Me too. I played flute and piano." That was Kiana Lynn. Shadaria came on into the chat. She said, "Greetings, good people." Hey, Shadaria. Charlie the Show said, "I love how all of them have danced and twirled." Now, I don't. Now, Miss Evans, you didn't twirl, right?
Yes, I twirled mine.
You did say that. You said that. I'm sorry, my bad. Look, I'm listening. I'm listening. She started, baby. Look at the commonality. They all twirl. Come on, twirlers represent. Because let me tell y'all, the twirlers be in the comments for us. Okay, stock. That's hashtag stock. That's who we be. SS4L. My last team home. Hey, Miss Evans. Miss Sherry, I said my cousin was a black fox. She was fire, baby.
Baby fox.
Okay, so. Miss Evans, we're going to give you just a quick break, just really quick, and then we're going to bring everybody up for our panel interview, and we're going to get into these topics and these things. I definitely want to see everyone weigh on in. Here's another one. Shadera say, yes for the twirlers, period. All right, we're going to take Miss Evans down, y'all. She's going to come right back up, so just give her a second. Y'all, look, as y'all can see, we have brought these ladies with the legacy. We've brought them with their history. They are being open and authentic and unapologetic. Yes. And we love that they are this open. We're about to get into our panel discussion. But before we start this panel discussion, I wanted to set the scene. I know we see many videos and critiques and reviews of all the new things that come in. However, because our guests come from a little bit further back in before the YouTube era or at the cusp of the YouTube era and all of that, I wanted to kind of take a flashback to what auxiliary looked like a little bit then. These are not necessarily their current years performing, but just something to represent the style and what dance at that time looked like. Now, y'all know on this show, we give every era, every decade, every team love. And we've shown you some then and now videos. I'm going to show you, since they are from Grambling and Prairie View, I've selected one video to represent the Prairie View-ish age and a Grambling age from back then. I'm going to start off with our first video, which will be from Grambling. And I'm going to show you two parts. I'm going to have to move forward in this video. This one is going to, one, show the twirler, because we know Gremlin brought their twirler back just a year ago or 2 years ago, maybe. But within the last year or two, they just brought their twirler back. There was a twirler back in the day for Gremlin. And so this is 1979. And I wanted to quickly just give you a glimpse of what 1979 would look like in that era. I'm gonna stop doing it. Just play. Keep me together.
Okay, because I can't even hear you.
My bad, y'all. I keep forgetting to share the video. Forgive me. That is my bad. Okay, right. Here we go. So we're gonna look at again. This is Grambling. We're starting with the twirler on the halftime mark, because baby, I know the twirler's gonna be like, wait a minute, where the twirler aspect? We got you covered, sis.
Okay, Brandon, because I'm going to be booking classes in a minute since everybody was twirler.
Yes, baby, the twirl. You got to have that element. Baby, she is twirling them batons.
Okay. Come on, hair.
You better eat. Eat, mama, eat.
Yes, look at her. Oh, I got excited.
Them real twirl skills, baby. Them real twirl skills. Okay, I'm going to fast forward us. Y'all can hear us. Y'all just can't see us. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. Now, here the dancers are, I believe these are their dancers. And if I'm wrong, please don't get mad at me. I'm just going based on what I know. Okay, I believe these are the dancers. I think with a specific show, they're using pom-poms. I could be wrong, but I think this is them. Okay, I think this is them. Miss Y gonna let me know in a minute. I know she'll be able to tell me.
Okay,
but I believe this was them. Okay, they got a little buck, just a little bit of a buck in there. Okay, a little bit. I like they're using palms on the field. That's something we don't see a lot of these days. It is so, bless you. It's good to see, them incorporate that element. I sometimes wish we could see our girls do, a cute little palm routine every now and then. Not every field show, but just, a little dedication. The uniforms is given, that white with the sequin. Here for the uniform. All right. And then I'm going to switch us to a clip, I'm sorry, of Prairie View A&M. I just want to kind of set the standard of where we've come from so that as we go into this conversation, it'll take flight from there. This is 1980-ish from Prairie View A&M University. And again, I'm going to make sure I shared it. Did I share it? I ain't put on screen yet. There we go. All right. So just making sure I'm good. Okay. And this is a representation of the Black Foxes in the 1980s era.
I'm excited. Yeah. Oh my God. Look at the beauty. Oh my God. Look at that.
Now, y'all know it's hard to find videos this far back that is not grainy and it's hard. I'm trying to find the best video I can find for each group. And maybe I should have got some more help.
I like this uniform. Like the material is very pretty.
Come on, captains with the different uniform. You know, they used to be a thing. Captains wore a different uniform.
Come on, hair pieces. Look at the hair. Like, that's a look. They
Look,
need to
no hair down. You know, old school Foxes wore earrings. The captain got her hair down, though, so she's special. The Foxes was known for wearing earrings. We know we don't see that so much, at least the dangling earrings. You know, we see studs now. But the Foxes wore the earrings, the hoops, and all the things.
Oh. I love it.
The hat is cute.
Yes.
Do they have the legendary foxtail? Let's see. Well, they have I guess you call it foxtail. They have the fringe. So the bottom fringe is a theme. Both teams had that. Just looking at those commonalities. The shiny uniform. Come on, circle. Look, circling in the 80s.
Come on, line. Keep line. Oh. Okay.
This was the combo. This might have been a Gremlin versus Prairie View game. So that was the combo. All right, y'all. So look at these comments, y'all. The comments coming in. We're about to bring our panel back up. All right, in just a second. We're about to get them ready now. They are preparing to come back up. And look, the comments are coming in talking about all the things. Let me see. She said, yes, for the twirlers. Okay. She said, oh, wow. Tony said, eat, baby. She talking about them videos. Real twirler. I love it, baby. That twirler was eating on Gremlin's Field, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Bring the twirlers back. That's what we're going to have that conversation another day. We stands for the dance lines to serve it up. Yes. Now I love me a good palm routine, baby. You better say it. Bless you. Oh, she was blessing you, baby. She blessed you. Okay. I hope you received it. Okay, y'all get ready for our panel interview. We got some great topics coming your way, and however the conversation goes, however it goes, we're bringing back up each of our guests. So we want to welcome back Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones to the screen. Welcome back Miss Iris Wesley Wyatt on the screen. Welcome back Miss Kayla Evans on the screen. Y'all, we're about to have some great conversations, okay? And I'm here for it. She said Fox was known as headpiece as well. Come on, headpiece. I'm here for it. All right. So we're going to go into our first topic of the night, ladies. Again, thank y'all so much. Y'all are schooling us right now, and so many people out there, and they are here for all of that. Well, she said, it's the bang. Yes. I'm done with you, Kiana. Go to time out. Okay, here we go. So our first topic of the night, and there's no specific order. So if you want to weigh in or have an opinion on the topic, please feel free to take the floor. And then everybody, once they're done, you could just give your opinion. All right, our first topic of the night is the importance of training, technique, and skills. All right, the importance of training, techniques, and skills. Is there anyone who would like to start with that conversation first? Anyone like to weigh in? Because we've had a plethora of different skill sets and levels.
I'll start.
Yeah, I was waiting.
Technique keeps them safe. It keeps because some dance moves can be really dangerous on the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
If a student doesn't know where the movement is coming from, can cause them to injure themselves. So it is so technique, getting on that ballet bar is extremely important. If you want to, it's the difference between being a good coach and being a great coach. Because like Kayla mentioned it earlier when she was like, I knew a passion for it, but I was missing that technique. I had that synergy, I had that charisma, that showmanship, but I was missing that little part. And when she went and got that, that's why Sock is so amazing now. I saw Sock at road to the state championship, and I was like, you better get it, girl. So yeah, technique is a foundation. You can't build a house. You have that foundation.
That's me.
Yeah, well, I had the experience. I'm really not. I'm self-taught, but I've had the experience where I've had students who were trained from little bitty kid, and they would come in, and I would notice that training, this girl could do pas de berets, this girl could do arabesque, this girl could do this PK turns. I knew what the moves were, and I could somewhat do them myself. But Geraldine, this girl named Geraldine that was on Townview's line, born dancer, trained well. And every year I seem to be getting that type of girl. And so I put it to use. Those girls made the team, and they built on what they learned in school as far as technique was concerned, and they taught me.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned how to put all of those things together. Geraldine, Doronisha, Anastasia, when they wanted to do, I think I was out one semester, and they wanted to do a spring show. And someone, Brandon, I believe, Brandon took my place. And Geraldine and Anna and Brandon and Doronisha and the rest of that crew, they got together and they pulled that show together, but it was full of technique. And those girls brought that in, and they would teach it because I asked them to teach it. And then I would have some girls who just felt like they were not worthy to even be on a dance team. And I would put them with these girls, and they would teach them. And then I learned right along with them, even though I had some knowledge of how it was supposed to be done. But you gotta understand, I was running a whole theater program and dance. I was running the whole thing, so I had to utilize what I had in order to get the job done. So, Miss Wyatt here, you're absolutely right. Technique is very, very important, and the training is important. But like Brandon said, you have some young women who just don't have it or could not get the opportunity to get in there to get it. But I had a plan, and I had young women that had those backgrounds, and they would come in and assist in getting that done. So it was a jewel for my program.
I'll chime in real quick too. I was not afforded, especially growing up as a male, wanting to dance. I didn't even explore my true passion for dance until my latter high school years. And college is where it really took off for me, because I was able to make those decisions for myself and not feel like I was being judged, because the world was kind of changing, the times were changing. And even acceptance of male dancers were starting to change. And I did not per se grow up with technique or get the formal training, but as I continue to hone in on my passion for dance, I put myself around others who had it. I put myself in the classrooms with others who could teach it or do those lessons or those studio training sessions just to build what I knew. I know I could never go back and replace the years I didn't get and the many years that people put in to get it, but knowing it and at least understanding and respecting the art, understanding proper stretching, understanding proper technique when you're doing certain motions, at least getting it and understanding it so that it can be taught correctly, so that I can understand it. And even when there's something I want to do and I don't know how to do it correctly, I go and ask questions from those who do, or I bring them in and have them teach and have them serve. So I know for me as a coach, it's always been technique is a part of what we do. I may not be the most technically trained. I know enough to get it off the ground and to put some good, great routines together. But when I really want to take it up another notch, either I'm going to go train and get it myself, or I'm going to bring somebody in that can further that level of technique that I cannot provide. And I'm okay with saying that, because I tell people all the time, I'm not formally trained, but I bet you I can get out there and make you think I was, make you think I was in some aspects, because I'm going to try my best to make sure that, you know, I do put those things that I've learned throughout my years, whether it be through, and it's not just technique from dancing, through twirl and color guard, because all that I was self-taught at the time, but I went and put myself in all of those realms to develop the skill set and the levels needed to be able to do the job at the correct way, to make sure these kids are learning it, or these students are learning it the correct way, to build some really good teams. So that's something I can share from my experience as well. Did anybody else want to bring in the understanding of importance of training technique and skills? Because I know that conversation is always happening back and forth between dancers, you know, and I brought this up in another conversation before, or another episode before, but I always hate seeing the, and I say this lightly, the technical trained dancers where it's like they're pitting against the non-technical, and there's always this banter back and forth of, well, you know, everybody, and I know I've been on the side of one of those arguments too, not because I don't believe in the technique, but I do sometimes believe that sometimes when technical people speak, they sometimes down talk those who are not. And it's not that I think that's the spirit in which it comes from. I just also want them to understand that there are great dancers who are not technically trained. Can we be better trained? Of course. And I'm not going to ever say that. I think everybody should be exposed to the skill sets and training, no matter whether it's dance, twirl, or flag. However, there are some that just have natural talent that can go out there and get it. And they may not have been afforded the right to train. Now, if they're of age, they can go and give themselves that training, and they should seek some additional training. But I always want to ask that question, especially when we have legends on, especially when we have Miss Iris, who we know is a technical queen out there, and she's really big on that. I want to make sure that we touch that topic, because we don't want people to think that it's always one versus the other and you have to choose. Why not choose both?
But a lot of the college directors now are looking for that, and that is an expectation that they look at. Right. So most definitely, if you can get trained in that area, I would say yes, because you would stand at the front of the line a lot quicker. But you have some that have it naturally, and they have that look. And a lot of directors, they look for the technique, but they also look for other things as well. But I think that technique would put you out front a lot quicker than anything else. It's very important. Very important.
Honestly, I think
my advice to I'm sorry. My advice to the doctors and people who are trying to or deciding to become a dance teacher or educator or coach or whatever profession they want to or call it. The reason why I'm so adamant about technique, it is about a kid being able to, one, go wherever they want to go when it's time to dance, because we're not always pitted against ourselves, the African American community. We're also committed. We're
competing
the
against
other
the
side where they are able to afford all the classes and stuff. So as a coach, you gotta want it for your kids. So it's okay to ownership and that you don't know technique, but go learn it. Or if you want to learn it, bring somebody else in. Give the kids the opportunity that they could possibly have to go in any direction that they want to go. And that is my issue. Because you find coaches who, it's not technique, it's about showmanship. right now it's about, but let that kid move somewhere else. It won't be about showmanship. It won't be about how far. It won't be about, because that's one thing I loved about Grambling State University. It wasn't about skin tone, uniform you had on. The question is that girl dancing? Are you dancing? It ain't just. It's not just. Showmanship is really important. Don't get me wrong. You can't have technique without showmanship. Some work hand in hand. But as a coach, we gotta make sure that we create an opportunity for our kids. So that technique, you know, you can pick up a routine like that. Have a technique, you gotta actually try to fix their body. A lot of directors are gonna do that the further they move up. So that's why I'm serious about that foundation.
I would say, me being a science teacher, I think I can see it. One of the conversations, I mean, a big thing about the word, I think it's a wordplay thing. When people hear technique, they automatically thinking, jazz and ballet techniques, when technically technique is really just the science behind any kind of movement. And it's not limited to just those styles of dance. So like, even if you're doing, a hip hop movement, for safety of your back, or, the way that you bend, when you're doing floor work, is still a science to the movement and how to correctly do it to keep you safe, because you're twisting and you're turning. Do you know if these particular muscles rotate on that type of axis or not? And so I think that's pretty much where a lot of the confusion comes with when they say technique, if you're not trained in ballet and jazz, which are the basis for fundamental, movement. They are. That's where all of them originate from. But for example, in fact, Brandon, you actually put this on my mind a while back. We were having a conversation about technique, and so, for example, the Golden Girls, at Alcorn, they do a lot of bucking, and they've advanced a lot more with their technique. But at one point in time, if you can book, you can make that team, because that's what they were big on. And JSU too, even though they did do more technique than Alcorn was, but you made me realize that, like, just because it's booking doesn't mean that, they can't move on, and that might be their field of dance that they focus on. Everybody needs that basic skill. Okay. But I think when we're saying technique, we thinking, can you do all the cones, and how good are your switch leaps all the time? And in some styles, they don't require all of that. Even if we're talking about like a flags, flags are not going to do all of the things that the dancers are going to do half time, but it's still a science behind the movements that's necessary. And so I think it's more kind of like wordplay when it comes to that word technique.
I agree. Yes. Oh, Clay, did you have something?
What's that?
I thought you had a comment. I thought I heard you try to say something. Oh, okay. I agree. And I think the audience was saying something pretty much very similar. It was Shadaria that said it. And I put it up there a couple of times, but he said technique isn't just for technical skills. There's a technique to hip hop, bucking, majorette. Technique is about the proper way to execute a move, position, even dance genre. And I think that agrees with everything that you're saying. And I think so too. And I think we always think that technique only talks about the ballet jazz portion of everything, that fundamental dance, where there is a technique to everything. And I think if we keep that mindset that anything that we do has a proper technique to it, then we will put our students and our pupils in a better position to compete in all areas and not just in the show band area.
Right.
I definitely believe in that. Cooper is in the building, y'all. I just want to let y'all know Coop is in the building. So I'm always, when we got something in, we got to let them know Coop is in the building, y'all. And he said,
in the building.
All right. He said, it depends on the flags, depends on the school area. That's true. That's very true, Sherry. It does depend with the flags, how technical they have to be, because we know that we discussed this at our flag show, DCI and Winter Guard, they do a lot of dancing. And they have to have technique to execute the dance with the flag apparatus. And so we definitely want to make sure we see that, those elements too, that we can do those things too. All right, I'm going to move us into our next topic. If nobody else has anything on that one, we're going to keep it rolling so we can make sure we move the show. Our next topic is the importance and impact of auxiliary to marching band. There is no other people I would want to have this conversation with than the legendary people themselves. Because y'all know the impact and importance that an auxiliary plays to any band, marching band performance that there is. And I would love to hear from each one of you, if possible, just your opinion on how important auxiliary, and we're talking about all auxiliary, not just dance. And I know y'all know that, but to the audience, how important auxiliary plays in the score sheets, in the battle of the bands, in the evaluations, in the image, in the branding of a band, any of that that you can shed light on, please hit those topics for me. And again, anybody want to go first?
Miss Forte.
Working with Dean Hill and Jerry and Carlisa Washington, auxiliary brings the color. It brings the stage presence that blends in with that music to tell the story. And it's very important that the connection is blended and it flows to the point where the message is hitting the audience. That auxiliary plays a important role in the dynamics of handling the apparatus, and also the dancing and the color, everything that an auxiliary brings, it enhances that band. And both the band and the auxiliary have to emerge just like sister and brother. And it must flow in that paradigm. It must blend. So if you've got a band that does not have an auxiliary, then you can kind of see, you can kind of just feel what would that look like. For instance, I know Grambling, way back in the day, Grambling, I think it was all male. I think it was all male. And I think the Black Foxes were the first women dance women team, Black Foxes, to perform in front of that band back in the day, way back in the day, in the 70s. And it did something for the band, because the Grambling band director wanted that to say something. And I think it emerged into something, and it blended. So when we talk about the auxiliary with the band, that auxiliary plays a role in making sure that the story or the message of what we're trying to get over to our audience is blended and it's well communicated. And the auxiliary gives it its flavor.
All right. Anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Forte. Look, she says it's the sauce on top. Come on, sauce. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
I do think that auxiliaries do help the band's performance. It's like the band is playing their music and the auxiliaries are singing with their bodies and instruments and batons. I feel like you said, it's telling a story. Everybody's singing the music. You know, it gives it that extra seasoning. And it could make or break a band, but it definitely gives a band its look. So I definitely agree. It's very important to have auxiliary.
I think
the auxiliary team, they they bring the softer side of the band out. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like Chicago State University used to be all males, so it brought the softer, feminine side of the band to appeal to a variety of people. Because when you just have band, music, yeah, you have band and you have music. You need something to go with that. When you hear music, you want to see some movement, you know, with that. So the dance just adds the icing to, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the visual. I think we're all saying the same thing, but it's the visual component of what the music is doing on the field for me. And I think without that visual, sometimes the story is not fully told. And I think for our audience, it really helps to see the full story. For those who don't understand music, that don't understand, they don't know the song, they don't know nothing. When that visual comes to the field, it helps to.
It works hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know when this was back in the 70s, y'all, you know, back in the 70s, when we would come to the Cotton Bowl, my family would always hear on the radio or however it was advertised that the Black Foxes were going to do this or the Black Foxes were and everybody would, my family would definitely listen to that. All the Foxes coming. Well, the band, we know the band is going to come, you know, tear up the whole thing because that the band is the thing. You know, the band got the music going and that's what's going to make it. But they said, well, all the Foxes, but when they say, oh, the dance is coming, well, great. Now we got a whole show. So I'm going to pay my money because I'm fixing to see the whole band and the auxiliary come with it. And it's going to be good. And so it makes a difference. Makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, auxiliaries definitely help the audience feel what is going on throughout the show. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and you have I like
and that
Miss
relationship
Iris, Miss Iris group. Miss Iris would always have something different. And when the show that you did with them girls and your shoes and on the ladder, girl, they did awesome, straight awesome. And the horn, you know, it was raining, and I'm thinking, and I'm saying, oh my God, I hope it comes through, you know. But the horns, if they get wet or something, I don't know if they're able to blow as loud as they can. But that particular performance, them girls brought it through. Them girls brought it through. I mean, and it was just raining. It was raining that day. But them girls got up there and they it wasn't no water out there. And I was like, Miss Iris, now she did that now. Now that's all right. But you need that auxiliary. Sometimes it just brings it through.
That's true.
It just does that. And
right.
And I think a lot of band directors really know that. I think they know that. Mr. Hill, you know, I was at the top at the top of the hill in the theater. He come up there and Forte, what we gonna do by such. Here, let me let you do that. And when he put it in my hands, I gotta go create. Okay, but that's what make a great band. And even when I was in California, Clovis West was one of the greatest bands in the state of California, and that auxiliary had to be on point. Auxiliary is the meat. It's the meat in the center of the burger. And that band is on the outside all the way around. The bun is already there. That band is coming. And it's going to blow. But in that middle, you gotta have that auxiliary coming out on all four sides, coming out of the middle of that burger. And it's gonna entertain that audience and give the flavor that the audience want to see. The audience want to taste it. Hey, here it is. So auxiliary is important. Now, and Brandon, you know, at Townview, it was hard to get all of that together sometime because, the kids have to be at the, at their internship, this and that, and this and that. So it was pulling teeth to get it done. But still, auxiliary is very, very important.
Miss Iris, I think you were trying to say something. I want to make sure you get the stage.
And I want to say to the band directors, if there are band directors in tune, that's why the auxiliary relationship between band director, auxiliary director is so important, because they work well together. The auxiliary saying, here, I want these 5 songs, and it doesn't match the team, right? Because the halftime show is supposed to be a story. So
Right.
If they work hand in hand and they can actually do what it needs to do. And I'm not saying directors need to bow down to the auxiliary director, and auxiliary directors, I'm not saying you have to bow down to the, but auxiliaries need to know our places. And our place is to be behind the band director, not in front of him, not beside of him. He is the lead of that halftime show. We need to know our place. We need to ask what he wants, and then work our magic what he wants. And I'm not, and I know I'm probably getting on some people. What? Be behind, but he's over the end show. If the show goes, the band director is the first that they're gonna call. So we need to know that, and it doesn't take away anything from us as an auxiliary director. We're just saying we're professionals. We can work with anyone, right? So band directors, be mindful and treat us with kindness. Don't be like, oh, they're getting the back of, treat us with kindness. We are the flowers of the band. We're not just gonna step on the flowers. We're gonna pick the flowers and smell them. We gotta work hand in for it to work and work well.
I agree.
That was beautifully said. I don't have much else to ask, but I do have one additional question, and just for clarification, when y'all have done throughout your years of coaching, did you get a blueprint, a layout of the show that said you go here, you go here, you go here, and this is what the show's going to look like? Or have y'all had to build your show around whatever the band is doing and make your changes? And although I know some of these answers already, I want this to be a conversation so the public understands that some of the greatness of what they see may or may not been plotted as a team effort, and sometimes you had to come in the clutch and put that oomph around the show. Would anybody like to speak on that real quick?
Go ahead, Kayla.
Hold on, y'all. So I forgot to tell y'all, I had muted y'all. I tried to put in the background chat, but I muted y'all because there was some background noise coming in. So if you're talking, we may not be able to hear you. So make sure you unmute yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I think it's completely dependent on the actual director. I've experienced both. There has been times that, for the sake of time with the band members trying to get them musically sound, that, it's, hey, whenever we fix what we fix, y'all find a way to fit in, or we're going to give you the song. We can't, they're not taking song requests right now. We're going to do what we're able to do with the instruments we have, and we just got to make it work, and it just really depends on the director. Then I've been on a director where it's like, hey, we get together and collaborate. What you want to do? I know y'all going to bring it. So what kind of song what kind of tempo do you need? So it really depends on that. Like Miss Wyatt was speaking of the directors' relationships, which is in that mutual respect. And sometimes it's just not there, and hopefully, you get with somebody who understands your role and I understand yours. We cater to the blind and somebody else takes to the hard of hearing, and let's make this work for both. So it just depends.
Thank you.
I've worked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 band directors, and I've had to learn each one. And so I had been groomed to just listen to them, listen, take their charts, go out, do what's on the chart. If they wanted something different, because Mr. Hill kind of wanted some things different. So I had, if I had to go and build the flats and get some paint on the pretty brown eyes and get the skirts changed and get some more color on, then that's what I had to do. And I did that. And I must say that Dean Hill, myself, Carlisa, and Jerry, we worked really well together, and we had some little downfalls here and there, but overall for 20 years I worked with Dean Hill, and we pulled it off. We did what we had to do, but we did it together, and we were there for the children. So yes,
Amen.
It all works in there together, and you just got to make it work. And the band director is the one that runs the whole show until he tell you, you got to go do this right here, and can you get that done? I got that. Okay. So, and we've had our little talks about specific things, but overall, we did what we had to do to help those children bring the performance that they wanted to have, so that they would feel good about themselves as well. But really, really good. We did a good job.
Kiana, good comment. She says band directors with vision beyond Friday Night Lights tend to be more welcoming to collaboration with auxiliaries. So I can definitely see that comment being and holding true. We're going to shift into our next topic. And the next topic says, and you can keep this one as short or simple as you want, from the legends themselves, what makes a great team and what makes a great coach?
Perseverance. Perseverance.
Come on, Quay, for the perseverance.
I think everything starts with the director. The director sets the tone for her team and sets the tone for her standards or his standards. Yeah. Consistency and staying true to what you believe in for your team.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on that topic?
Yeah, I think the director is the one that sets the standard for her students and her program. And you have to wear many hats when you're dealing with a lot of minds and a lot of children that come in with different mindsets, and some children have other things that they're going through that you have to deal with too. So a good director has to be a team builder. She has to communicate her expectations. She has to be dedicated to all of what comes before her and make great decisions. She has to be patient. She has to be respectful. All of these things come in to her to make her a leader for her students or her children to follow. So it's just a lot of things that director has to bring to the table. And she has to be resilient with it. And a lot comes to us dance auxiliary directors, a lot. Yeah. And we have to be able to handle it in a way where it's professional and everybody is kind of satisfied, but then you're not going to get everything satisfied in a way. So you have to be just dedicated to making sure that your team is preparing you prepare them for performances, and you prepare them for real life integers. I mean, all of that comes with it. But if you're chosen to do that, and I know that these two young ladies here, y'all been chosen to do that. I know I was chosen by God to do this, because I would not have lasted this long.
Amen.
Without my ministry in this, and a spirit of hope and drive and expectation and team build. All of these things, sometimes they don't just come at you. Sometimes they are just given to you, and it's a heart thing. It comes from within, and I just don't know how I would have done it without my faith. I don't know how I would have been able to lead so many without the Creator coming in and sharing what He wanted me to do for these many years. And I appreciate that. And I would not have been able to do it without that. So
Thank you,
a
Ms.
great
Keith.
leader, you have to bring a lot. You have to accept a lot, and you have to pray over a lot, and you can get it done. It's amazing. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
We're gonna thank you, Ms. Forte. I definitely agree with your opinion. I want to get Ms. Wyatt's opinion, as well as Ms. Evans'
Yeah.
opinion too, as well. Ms. Wyatt, you want to tell us what your thoughts about making a great team and a great coach?
I think she said it best when she said you have to set your standard. You have to know what you want as a coach, and you have to set the standard of the team, because you have kids coming from a plethora of environments, and they have to know, in order to be on this team, these are the
expectations.
I expect you to go to the class. I expect you to be a model. Before you are a student. So because dancers really don't the scholarship type of things. You gotta be a student first. You set the expectation. You're gonna be a young lady. I'm gonna introduce you to God. Now you're gonna hear about Him, but you're gonna choose where you're gonna go. But as in my house, this is what we do, right? So you set the standard and the expectation, and then you gotta have ladies who want more for themselves. And in wanting more for themselves, being a dancer transcends over into their academics, which transcends over into which transcends over to them becoming mothers or employees or bosses they're desiring to be. We set the standard I'm not just a coach. I'm a mentor, I'm a mother, I'm everything for my children. So I set the standard, and then I gotta have people that are hungry. And I'm not just talking about hungry to be a dancer. I'm talking about hungry for life. I want to be better in life. So that's what makes a great team, because you and I are both hungry for life. We're going to be working together. We're going to become great friends. And Kayla said it best when I'm a fox for life, right? She got that she's built that's transcended time. That's what happens with great teams. Girls who want to be uniform wearers, those are not people who stay. Girls who want to be better women, those are the ones that stay on my team, because my expectations are high. And you're gonna rise, and you're gonna get on this train, or you're gonna get out. Okay. Because I always say this train is New York. There are gonna be some stops. You might get off, but at the end of the day, this train is now what you want. go to New York or you want to get out. And it's okay. And I know that this is not everybody. It is okay that you don't want to go to New York on this train. It's okay you want to go fight over Johnny come Sunday. Okay, you should go fight over Johnny come Sunday, but you can't be on this team fighting over Johnny come Sunday. So, I mean, it's just when you set the standard, this is what it is. And you're going to rise. And you're not only going to rise on the football field, you're going to life. Because those girls who rose to the occasion to stay on this train going to New York, they're doctors, they're educators, they graduated top 10% of the class, scholarships and went to school for free. Currently, right now, have graduating. One is like number 3, and one is 4. One just a $200,000 free to go to TC, not because I set the standard. It's about dance. This is about it's a great team. Me and them working together.
Yes, ma'am. Work, Miss Iris. Okay. Look, I'm telling y'all, these legends is dropping the gems. And that's why I'm making sure they all say something, whether they want to or not, because they dropping the gems. Okay. Miss Evans, we gonna unmute you and look, we unmute yourself and let's go ahead and give us your gems, baby, because I know y'all doing it.
I mean, I agree with both of them and what they saying. Setting the standard is really what it is. I believe you have to have a selfless vision for your team first. It starts with the coach because they're going to succumb to whatever standard that you set and whatever foundation you put in place. And I feel like all of the glitz and the glamour, what uniform we gonna wear, you know, how what kind of cute movements and stands we're going to do. I think all those are just the additives, but it's that foundation that you set because it really does show up in the performance, whether you realize it or not. No matter how good your talent is, you might have a field full of people that's very talented, but if they're not in sync together, that's what the audience see. The majority of the audience don't know dance. So they just know what looks good and a good performance and that, ooh, look at that, look what they did all together as one. And you can't really function as one unless y'all all, going by the same standard and have to uphold that. And it's when you first start out as a coach, it's like God is giving you a seed and you got to take whatever he gave you and you got to start sowing. And it's going to come with a whole lot of opposition. It's going to come with a bunch of opinions and attitudes because everybody is on there for a different reason. It's some of them, I want to be this because my mama was this and, or my people got the money to pay up front, and I've had, we've experienced all kinds of parents, putting their kid on there for different reasons. Then it might be some who want to be on it and they don't even have the support that they need. And that's where you got to step in and put on that mama hat, that mentorship hat, and some of them don't know right from wrong. They just know whatever they've been taught in their culture, what they've seen. And so for me and my team, that's really been the gel for us, is giving them a strong foundation of what is the vision for this team, because it's bigger than dance, it's bigger than the glitz and the glamour in the Friday Night Lights. These are some values we're trying to instill in you that you can take for the rest of your life, and you're going to form some friendships. The day after you make the team, you don't even know that you just formed some friendships that you're going to have for life. Because y'all work, this is normally if they're dancing in high school, if they're dancing in college, those are those years where you're becoming into yourself as an adult and setting the stage for the type of character and attitude you're going to have for the rest of your life. And that's why it's so easy to form those bonds. You spend a lot of time every day. You're at practice with them. So I feel like the coach has to set that standard first. And they're going to follow. Some things you're just not going to be able to allow. And it's going to be hard, because you got everybody in your ear with their reasonings, but you're going to have to put your foot down. You're going to have to put your big girl drawers on or underwear if you're a man, and you're going to have to just stand firm on what you believe in, that is going to be best for them. And if that means, sweetheart, this ain't for you right now, you're real talented. I love you. I want you here. You know, I told my new team the other day, I want all of you. That's why you are here. But don't think that you are needed and that you're going to come break the integrity of the program, especially in the era that we living in now of this entitlement. You know, I'm entitled because I got this and I can do that. You know, so I'm going to take you back to the why we here in the first place. And then you're going to understand that if you don't rise up to these standards, I can't do nothing with you. I wish you the best.
Well said. Well said. All right. We're gonna move into our next topic. I know we're getting to the last few minutes. Oh, hold on. I think Ms. Forte said something.
Yeah, I wanted to just drop this for a minute. I understand exactly what you're saying because I've had that. You know, when you set your expectations as a coach and you've got your rules and everything set aside and everybody is following it, I've had the experience where everybody doing what they're supposed to do, but when somebody don't make it, I've had administration come in and my rules just they move them to the side. And I've experienced this before. I've experienced it, and they just put them on the line. Make you put them on the line. I've had that experience before.
A lot of times,
and it is amazing. You know, like you have to work with your band directors, you have to work with your kids, but you also have to work with your administration. Because those kinds of things can break a coach, even though it didn't break me. But I just think it's very important that you have a relationship with your administration so that everything can flow the way it's supposed to. As far as the expectations of what the director and the coach wants done as a leader of that group.
Yeah. A lot of times the women on the teams don't understand that this is not only for the team to be ran right, but also to train you for life in the future when you move on. So, yeah, you have those young ladies or young men who don't understand and don't get it, but you do have those ones who do get it. And in life, that's the gift of it all. Like you get to see you reaching out to someone who, you know, took in everything that you implemented in them and understood everything that you were trying to do and training them to be for the future. You get to see them go on in life and grow. And all in the end, I love to see that. Yeah, we have those times where we don't get to everyone, and that's okay. Later on in life, they start to understand. But, you know, the gift is seeing the growth in the students always. So, yeah.
All right, we had a comment come in, quite a few, but
and to that young director, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You were talking about that director, that administrator made you put a kid on a team. I'll kind of experience that, and the advice I want to offer that young director is take it in stride, because that person is your boss, and if you kind of clash and create a situation for you, so take it in stride. Because one thing that all three of us have all said, that we've been given this gift. So one thing I'm a believer in is that it's something, if God made and put the person on your, it may be for a reason. And if we fight it, then we want a blessing from God. The other thing is sometimes kids need that we can change for them. So someone may see something that we don't see. So all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and that are called according to his. Mm-hmm. So if someone, the person on the team, is going to work it out. So they're going to come on the team and conform, or
it worked out
and not conform and be gone.
It worked out. It worked out.
So my advice to the young director, Yeah, I'm saying I'm just offering to the young director, because sometimes young directors, you get to the point where you get upset, and sometimes they'll be like, "Well, I quit."
Oh no,
Just know something God put there. It's a yeah.
No,
so I'm saying sometimes these are things, because these are things that make us strong directors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was stronger. It made me stronger. And it made me set my expectations a little bit higher. And it all worked out. Because when you're dealing with that, I was just saying that for these young directors coming in, always know that it's not just you and the band director. There are others that are above you, and things can change up quickly. And if you don't have any kind of knowledge about it, you can really handle it in a way where it may not be in your best interest. So you have to know these steps and how it works out. It worked out for me because I knew how to handle it. I just let it do what it was gonna do. And I kept doing what I was supposed to do as a director. And I didn't make a difference in between the individual. I kept doing what I was supposed to do. And it all worked out. So, but for young directors, I've heard this from some young directors. That's why I brought that up. You have to just know that it's just not you and the band director. There are others that are above them. And so when that type thing comes and it's in your face, you just have to know that it exists and don't let it stifle you. Pick up and keep going and do what you know to do as a director, because you are the director. You just have to follow what the administrators are saying. And it can be tough, but it'll work itself out. It's just like Ms. White said, what God got for you, and whatever he placed it there for a reason.
And Ms. White, I actually just learned that very lesson that you were saying about 2 years ago, and I used to be so bad for this. Why is this happening? My intentions are good, and people are turning things, feeling entitled and trying to tell me that you're going to do this, even though these people haven't, with proof and documentation, met the standards that they needed to meet. And I had to examine myself, and God had to pull me back into remembrance of why he had me doing what I was doing. And he was like, it's going to all work itself out in the end, and they end up doing it. It actually became a blessing. It wasn't necessarily somebody being inserted into the team, but it was me having to, even though someone was being rude to me, I still had to work with them, and sometimes you're just like, well, I don't even want to just have to deal with it at all. I need to be best to do that. But working with them, I saw his purpose in that, later on. And now me and that girl, really, I had two situations are really, really close to this day, and they wanted something from me at the time, and they didn't know how to just go about obtaining it, what they wanted from me, and they wanted me to feel a certain way about them. And so I learned that. And so what you're saying is right on point, because God has his purpose in it, and it's not going to always feel comfortable. He got to shake up your comfort zone just to get you to see that it's a bigger purpose behind what he's doing.
Y'all about to take us to church. Let me move this conversation before I get the shouting up in here. All right, y'all. This is our final topic of. Oh, hold on. I think Ms. Forte talking. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Forte.
I said we've been to church.
Yeah.
All right.
Miss Iris done took us to church. Miss Iris took us to church. But yeah, but all of that's good though. All of that's good, and I'm glad that you picked up on that, Miss Evans. I'm really glad, because don't let those kind of situations get you down. I ain't paying no attention. I was like, okay, y'all do what you want. Go on in there, girls. Y'all do what y'all got to do. Come on out here and let's get these exercises done. Let's do what we got to do. And I learned what to say, what not to say, when to say it, because it's all in my spirit. And hey, and it worked out. it all worked out. And so that's very important. I'm telling y'all, I would not have lasted this long without. But some of the young directors have come to me with that. That's why I just mentioned that. But yeah.
All right, real quick, these two comments, and then we're moving into our final topic of the night, and then we're gonna close out the show. So Achawachuka said, let me just say thank you for your sacrifice of time and personal life. As an adult looking back, y'all give up a lot of personal life to invest in making those high standards a reality. And the memory mass of practice is real, as proven by my 20-year reunion impromptu performance. Not to mention the off the field expectations. Y'all are truly giving life survival skills. Kiana Lynn added, every time I was faced with the type of situation I referred to my handbook that the parents had to sign for, and I never responded with my own emotions, although I may have been in disagreement. I always try to meet the parent or band director or administrator in the middle. All right, our final topic of the night, and this one is kind of like a 2 to 3 part question, but speak to the part that speaks to you. Real quickly, we just wanted y'all to weigh in. I'm trying to stay true to the time frame I gave y'all, and we're just slightly over. I wanted to just weigh into the topic. The origin and evolution of HBCU dance as we know it, and that's our overarching title. When we talk about that, these are the things I'm specifically kind of want you to touch bases, but definitely go where you feel you need to go. The difference in evolution of styles, whatever your opinion may be there. What do we need to bring back? What do you think you would like to see something that we've lost in the way? And what do we need a little less of, in your opinion? And y'all come from different eras, different teams, so that may look different for you. But our overarching question is the origin and evolution of HBCU dance as we know it. It's our final topic of the night. I'm going to reverse this conversation tonight. So I'm going to go to Kayla first, and I'm going to end, and then Ms. White, and then I'm going to end with Ms. Forte on that topic. Kayla, would you like to weigh in on that?
The evolution. When it comes to evolution, I think that dance is going in a really, really good direction. It's getting more notoriety than I've ever known it. I will say that during a time where the Bring It show came on with Miss Diana, regardless of whatever controversy exists around that really put the HBCU style of dance to me in the spotlight, and I know they did a lot of things that were pretty much dangerous or things like that, and they hadn't incorporated much technique at the beginning. I've seen them progress over time, but that, and after that show, I noticed how the number of private dance teams around just Dallas, since I'm here, has grown exponentially. And I just love that, because that gave the younger girls who needed training an opportunity to dance early. We didn't have dance class when I was in school. So when I went to soccer, there was no such thing. Now we have dance class. That's at the high school level. And now we're getting more middle schools in DISD that have it. And one day I really hope to see, elementary. And I know they have music class and theater a lot, but a lot of them don't have dance classes. So that when they do get to high school, they're on that competitive level. Even on the collegiate level, they're doing way much more than what I did when I was a Fox. And I'd just be so excited, which in the competition is high. So I love that part of dance. That is so exciting to me. And I, in the future, want to be a part of that evolution, giving more girls opportunities, and also in other arenas, that like acro or something like that. I want us to be able to just do a lot more. I want to see more of. We need to bring back more of just other auxiliary means with the twirlers for one. Features. I think that's something that can really it was a big deal. One of Sock's first twirlers was actually a guy. He was a featured twirler, and it was I see that now most of the twirlers that really got that type of deep training are at the predominantly white schools, and they twirling, and I would like to see something like that come back. Less of, I would say, It just breaks my heart to see the little bitty babies with the gap in the legs and stuff. And I just think we could see a little less of that. I've heard from a lot of dads that, they don't even feel comfortable coming to some of the competitions and performances. And I think it's just so much more you can teach them, instead of, starting off how to book. And a lot of times that's hard to reverse when the first kind of dance you've learned is that. And we get that a lot in high school. You got girls trying out and it's like, hey, yes, I got a history. I used to dance for Explosive, or I dance for whatever team. And I want them on a team. I see that you got the potential, but technically, you good at the bucking part, but the other parts you can't really do. And so now I got to start over. But you've been doing this. You've been on this private team since you was 5 and 6. We could have skipped all of that, and you could have been better prepared.
Thank you, Kayla. We're going to go to Miss Wyatt for her expertise.
Ooh, girl, you laid it on the line, didn't you?
Okay.
HBCU dance, I always say this, it's not a genre, right? It's just jazz with hot kicks in the middle. So I think it's becoming like everyone's like putting a spotlight on it now because people have realized that HBCU altogether has been overlooked, right? So now people are really just like focusing in on it. So that's why it's evolving. HBCU dance has been HBCU dance since the beginning of time. And it's been the same. It's been classy. The Foxes, they got that class, right? The dolls have that daintiness, right? You got the Alcorn with the buck, right? Even though they're in second position in bucking, their seats are not below their knees. You know what I'm saying? Like all that has been there all the time. It's just now everyone's saying HBCU dance. No, it's just jazz with high kicks in the middle, period. That's the bottom line. It's jazz. It's jazz, it's jazz, it's jazz with high kicks in the middle. And the other thing is what I want to see different is I want to see more kids coming out of high school being prepared to go trial for these dance teams because it's embarrassing. You have kids that go down there to try out. Oh, I didn't make it. Well, baby, I knew you weren't gonna make it from the beginning. But be prepared when they go and try out for these teams. The thing I want to see less of is I need coaches to understand age appropriateness. There's a time when you book. You can there's a way to buck and still be clean. You just turn it to the side and you book. So not seeing everything that your mama gave you. So it's an art form in that. You in second position, you turn that knee over and you in 4 starch, and then you just cover it all that up, but you still bucking. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is there's a certain move little kids shouldn't be doing. I went to a competition. The girl was in the 7th. I was getting ready to recruit her to come to Lincoln. And the lady was like, oh, no, she in the 7th grade. Wait, what? Wait. It's too much. We need to know what's age appropriate and what is not age appropriate. And that's even on the high school level. So there are things that I will allow Lincoln to do that I've seen somebody do and at the college level, but I won't allow them to do it because it's too much for high school. So we need to know when to put certain moves on certain kids. So that's what I would like to see change.
Thank you, Miss Wyatt. And Dr. Forte Jones, would you like to give your opinion on that?
I'm with Miss Iris on this here, cause this now and that bucking that I think it's a way to do it, but I didn't allow it at Townview. Now, if you gonna open up your legs or something, I'm like Miss Iris. I made you turn your little self. If we gonna do this, you turn your little self to the side, and we're not gonna just wide that. We're gonna move it to the side where it's not all I just
Mhm.
couldn't do. Now, what I would like to see more of, I would like to see more twirling going on in the front of the band. I love those young ladies that twirl those batons, and they are really trained in that area. Um, when I go to Miss Texas pageant, I work with that organization, but when I go there, that's those girls that's on the stage with those batons. They are highly trained in that. And I think TSU has a couple of girls on their team. Those girls are awesome. I would love to see more of that. Um, I would like to see more of different types of costumes with the HBCUs. A little bit of that. That age appropriate stuff for the new girl. I think you need to really look at that. I do not like those little bitty girls bucking on the ground, and you could see the print of their little private parts down, and I just don't like that. I don't like that, but that needs to change. I'd like to see that change and more of that twirling going on and different kinds of costumes. But HBCUs, they doing their thing.
Thank you.
They're looking great. They have a lot of style, a lot of class. It's looking good.
All right, I'm gonna read a few of these.
Okay.
I'm gonna read a few of these comments, and then I'm gonna give us our closing question for the night, y'all. Our guest panelists have been amazing, and I don't want to hold these ladies, baby. They have been here on time and ready to go. So this comment really quick came in. First off, Kiana said, featured twirler of sock was Mr. Xavier Gunter, my buddy. Kiana, keep your eyes open because you may see him sooner than you think. That's all I'm gonna say. Never sleep on us, baby. We've been doing our research. Now, Brandon, Sherry Slaughter said, now, Brandon, I told you when I spoke on one of your lives, I had high expectations when I put my kids on a team. Well, my grandbabies and nieces danced for Iris. All the things she has spoken on is true. She's outside of the box. She fused tech, dance, life lessons. She made sure that we were prepared for wherever life takes them. My youngest daughter twirled with Kiana. She went on to twirl. My daughter twirled on high school and college, so I'm going to give my shout outs to Kiana and Iris. Thanks for being great coaches and mentors to my kid. Achawachuku said, I literally remember Miss Forte's rule around fringe on uniforms and no gap leg dancing at all during my time. And Sherry Slot said, my brother don't like to get going to competitions. He leaves soon as the girls dance. So that goes back to what Miss Evans said. Our final question of the night and our closing statement for our legacy coaches as we about to let them go, but we have enjoyed, and I say enjoyed, this conversation and nuggets you have dropped. I hope that everyone who comes across this video before I ask this question continues to listen to the nuggets that you have dropped, the experience you have dropped, the gems you have dropped, and all of the things you said, because although many of you have and are directing dance lines, you've directed other areas of auxiliary as well, or have been a part. And so you have a love for auxiliary at the core of everything that we do. Our final question of the night for this, and we're gonna go Miss Wyatt first, and then Miss Forte, and then Kayla. What is your greatest impact, and what do you want your legacy to be? All right, Miss Wyatt, take us home.
I think my greatest impact is that I require my dancers to focus on their future. Like, what do you want to be? When you finish this with me, where are you going? And then get them prepared to move in that direction, and to let them know that I believe in them, no matter how far-fetched that dream or desire is. I always let them know you can do it. In fact, that's one of our symbols of Dallas Unique. It's the bumblebee. And the bumblebee has a big body and has little wings, but it flies because it believes it can. So I instill, my greatest impact is to instill the belief of the bumblebee. You can fly and you can become whatever it is that you desire, as long as you believe you can and that you are working towards that, because faith without works is dead, right? So if you are working towards whatever it is that you're wanting to become, you'll become it. You may not meet its max, but just think about the in between, the dots in between. If you don't work towards it, you go nowhere. But if you work towards it, even if you don't become that doctor, right? You became something in between there of not doing anything and growing to be something. So I let my kids know, work as hard as you can. Wherever you fall, that's where your destiny is.
Amen.
So my legacy that I hope to leave is that when I leave and they put dirt over my face, I want my kids to say, she gave me everything she had. And that's it.
I love that.
I don't know why, but that just made me emotional.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I feel like I want to shed a tear, and I'm laughing, but I'm holding back tears. Like when she said that dirt over my face, and that hit me in a place. Oh, okay, I'm gonna mute myself. All right, Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones, would you please tell us your response to what is your greatest impact, and what do you want your legacy to be?
My greatest impact as a director was to influence my students beyond. I wanted them to be able to take whatever their heart wanted or whatever they believed in, whatever career they wanted to go into. I taught them that the stars is there for you to just reach up there and get it. And I must admit that they have, now with me being retired, it is amazing how these girls have excelled. I could not ask for anything. And the impact, the influence, when 4 of them went on to be on the Black Fox line, I told them, y'all can do this. You can do this. One went on to be Houston, Texas cheerleader. One, and now she's in Arizona on the Arizona Cardinals. And then I had one that ended up being the captain of the Black Foxes. And then I've got a whole host of others that have just gone on to do really, really well in these. And I preached this, and I told them, the stars are there. Just grab it, and it's yours, and you can do it. And these individuals have excelled. So I feel when they call me up and say, we need you at the baby shower. Mm-hmm. I've got 5 or 6, 7 baby showers I got to go to. I got 4 weddings that I got to go to. I'm experiencing all of this now because of the impact. I also taught them that we are a family, and it has gone beyond the schoolhouse. We are a family outside, because I really, really taught that we have to belong. We have to push each other. And so now it's kind of like I'm really enjoying where these young women have gone and what they are doing. And they're excellent, and they're doing great things. So the impact has been a life learning impact that I have just implemented, and it has transformed into something really, really great. And we have that bond, and it's that family bond, and it's there, and it's unbelievable, but it's real. It's real. Um, what would I want my legacy to be? I would just want my legacy to say I was there, I did my part, and I hope that I left a piece of my heart with you.
Okay. Oh, y'all gonna make me emotional. Stop this. Okay. All right. And then Kayla, take us home. Cause look, the big
Okay, they
these
up
two
there.
have already spoken. Okay, you gotta take us home. You're gonna have to take us to church.
Well, my greatest impact is honestly the ministry. Every Wednesday, I have what we call Wellness Wednesday. It's a Bible study. Actually, just recently, the administration asked me to do it school wide now during school, and so I'm really, really excited about that. But that wouldn't have happened. That opportunity wouldn't have came up had I not already been doing this for several years. It's something between me and God. It's something He asked me to do, and I was afraid to do it because of the whole, the opposition that I knew that comes with it, the separation of church and state. But He said, who gave you this job? And so I had to, do what I had to do. And we pray, we study, they have questions. And if I have an answer, they eyes are wide open, their ears is open. And if I don't, I go study and figure it out for them. And so I've been here a little long enough. Now this is my 10th year coaching, and so I've been here long enough to have college graduates and girls who come back to me and still hang with me now to this day, text me any time of the night. I just had phone calls yesterday for prayer as some girls was trying out for collegiate dance teams. So that is the biggest impact that I have had on them, is introducing them to the word, because a lot of them, are not in households where they're able to get the word and receive it. And so that for me is the greatest impact. What I want my legacy to be is basically not a master, but known as a servant. That's my whole purpose. And what I do is to serve you. God gave you the gifts, and I want to know whatever portion I can to help you with that gift, or wherever it's going to take you. It could be just learning how to get along with people, because later on you're going to grow up and to own your own business. Whatever it is, it might not even have anything to do with dance for me. So I just want to be a servant, and I want to be able to hear them words, good job, well done, my faithful servant. And that's my ultimate goal and my legacy that I want to leave behind.
Amen. All of that was beautiful.
Right. We have a quick comment. Kiana Lynn Pointing Flower said, I applaud all three panelists for promoting the value of character within dance. Shout out to Iris and Kayla, because they are still on the battlefield, literally and figuratively. And Miss Forte, I remember you as a young coach myself starting out, and I am still in awe. Thank you for your contributions, ladies. Y'all, this has been a beautiful, legendary coaches panel that we were able to pull together today. And we will do another one with some other coaches that definitely deserve a recognition of themselves. But we had to start with some of our greats. And y'all, I so appreciate that y'all have tuned in. Y'all have been active in the chats on Instagram. We see you over there on YouTube, Facebook, and all the places. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. The State of the Auxiliary is going to continue to bring you great content like this, that is going to continue to push everything we know about auxiliary and get those nuggets to continue to make everything we do here great. Y'all have seen these three ladies talk about God, their selflessness, their servitude, their heart, the passion that they have behind there, and even continuing to enrich themselves to be better for the ones that they're pouring into every night. And I think those nuggets there are so amazing, because sometimes we got to fill our cup. And I hope that you filled your cup up tonight with everything these three ladies poured out. Ladies, thank y'all again for all that you have done. Y'all give it up in the comments, give with the hearts, the likes, do all the things you need to do so you can do it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the ladies down so they can get ready to go. I know some of them have work in the morning. I don't call them anymore. Thank you, Dr. Evelyn. Oh, hold on. I think Miss Forte is talking. Okay, Miss Forte, thank you.
I was just glad to see these coaches. And I was good to see y'all.
You too.
It's good to see. I hadn't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. It's good to see y'all.
Same here.
Yeah.
Y'all, as we say goodbye to them, y'all continue to shower them with love. Definitely let them know how much they've impacted you. Hit them on their personal pages. Y'all know how to reach them. Let them know that you still love them and you appreciate all they have done. Let them get the receipts of their flowers while they can still smell them. We appreciate each of y'all. I'm going to go ahead and pull y'all down. Thank y'all again for a wonderful night and a wonderful show. This has been amazing, y'all. I don't know why, but I am so emotional right now.
It's because, like, hearing them, I believe you see yourself in everything that they were saying. You know, everything they had to give to us, it was something that we dealt with personally in our own lives. And so being there, they were able to shower us with these words and give us this advice and influence us to be better coaches and better mentors, you know, seeing where they came from and everything that they've dealt with, it really did something like with my heart. Like, I don't know, it was good. I enjoyed it. I really appreciate them for coming on and being truthful and honest and being themselves and telling everybody what they instill in young women and how they, you know, their legacies and everything they want. So this was beautiful.
I text you in the show and I said, I was texting Quay and I said, Quay, this is good, but this is God. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but like, I was like, this is good, but this is God. Like, when I say, and it's weird because I've worked alongside of Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones. I have been around Miss Iris. I have competed against Miss Iris, and you know she will stomp a hole in your butt. I have been with. I've competed against Kayla. I've worked around Kayla. She'll stomp a hole in your butt. I mean, but from competitors to friends to working with and working for. I mean, just to continue to hear all of the great things they poured out tonight. If you didn't get your cup full as a dancer, as a director, as a coach, as a parent, something's wrong. You need to go back and listen again. Okay. This is one of the messages you got to go back and listen to again because there was God in this message, but there was truth, there was love, there was heart, there was passion. And this is what it's about. It's not about coming and just critiquing and looking at videos. We can do that any day. This is about getting the information from those on the battlefield or those who have served on the battlefield so we can continue to make auxiliary great and move the love of this forward. Guys, this has been great tonight. Quay, any final statements you want to give before we close out tonight?
I'm very grateful. I am. And I really learned a lot from them tonight. I got emotional because hearing some of the stories and stuff, you know, like I said, it relates to us. So they were teaching me and testifying to me while they were talking. And they honestly gained like a new follower. Okay. Like I'm intrigued. I want to be in their circles. Like I'm intrigued. So I want to learn more. Like, I'm a coach. Like, I want to learn more. So I was very overwhelmed. Like, it was really good. I'm
so glad to have all their numbers already because, baby, I can call anytime and get that good old advice, get that cup filled. Y'all, you know we're going to have a part 2. We definitely will have another episode where we're going to have to bring them back and weigh in on some other type of topics down the road. But I just hope they know that we really love them and we're so appreciative that they took time on a Sunday night to give us and to pour out. And I hope that they feel just as overjoyed doing what they did as much as I know just from sitting back and listening, it really did something for me. And it was very magical. And I know I'm going to be probably rewatching this because if y'all don't know, I rewatch my own podcast because sometimes you're not always getting it. I'm working behind the scenes, so I ain't always been able to get it all in, but I'm going to get it in. I'm going to get it in again. I'm going to have to rewatch this and get my cup full one more time. So thank y'all so much, y'all. This has been another great production of State of the Auxiliary podcast, brought to you by Passion in Performance. Okay, so y'all know Quay is the owner and CEO of Passion in Performance, and we work in conjunction together. But this is all Quay, y'all. This is all Quay. I just get to be the voice, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Charlie, the show. Thank you, Sherry Slaughter. We appreciate y'all. This has been a lovely episode. Y'all go back, share this with your coaches, share this with your team, share this with your parents. Let them hear what was stated here tonight. This is serious. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Passion in Performance, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Make sure you do that. Don't forget that you can watch the replay on Spotify and Apple, and you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts. So make sure you're keeping up with all the things that we do. Pass this on to your and put the band directors on here next. Charlie,
be quiet. Be quiet. Shut up.
I've been told to be quiet. I've been summoned to be quiet. But baby, y'all look, those who've been following us every episode, y'all on the right pathway, baby. Okay. You're on the right pathway. Just know that we stay steps ahead. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get ready to close out. It's been a great show. I think Quay has given her goodbyes. I don't have nothing to say. I'm speechless and in awe. And I think I want to continue that way tonight.
Thank y'all, though. Thank y'all for supporting us always. Thank you for everybody who consistently comes on and watch and listen to us. We are very grateful. Like he said, this is not only to review, this is to get the real and truth behind the scenes. This is real, authentic, and character. Thank y'all. Thank you for everybody. Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Y'all, we're about to head on out of here. And as we prepare to leave you tonight, we just want to, remind you about the camp one more time. I know y'all heard about it, but y'all, we're a month out. We're just barely a month out from the camp. And look, it takes a lot to put a camp on this magnitude. So let your band, let your auxiliary, your dance lines, your color guard lines know it takes a lot, y'all. So the $150 that we're asking for the camp, y'all, I promise y'all that is just going to get us by. Last year, we definitely undercharged. And I'm telling y'all from last year, and I'm going to be honest with the numbers, it was over $12,000 to put that camp on. Okay? Over $12,000 to put the camp on we did last year. Okay? And we did not make not even a third of that $12,000 in what we charged. Okay? So just understand that when we bring these things to you, we are bringing them to you wholeheartedly. Get the twirlers. I want to see twirlers in the house. Okay. I know they're not used to having these types of camps. Get them in the house. Let's talk to band directors, twirl lines, and get them in the house. Color guards, same thing. They're not used to getting these type of camps. Make sure we get them in the house. Make sure they know that we're here for them and that we're trying to continue to enrich them as well. Okay. And of course, the dancers, we know they're going to show up. So y'all, June 3rd is around the corner. Y'all pay for these tickets and these cruises and everything else. Get this camp paid for our public camp. Now, remind you, we are doing a private camp the week before. This is the public camp. June 3rd through the 7th is going to be housed at Cedar Valley Community College, a Dallas College campus. They have been nice enough to open their doors for us and to work with us. So please come out and show them what we're trying to do, because they have great things in store for us if we can show them how we rock out. So just know that, okay? It's a lot on the line. Get this word out, share the flyers, share the videos, share all the things. And we're going to leave you on that note. Quay, it's been a lovely pleasure being along your side tonight. I cannot explain how great this is. Thank you for always being right here in these crazy ideas that we throw out together. And give it up to our legends one more time. The legendary Iris Wesley Wyatt, the legendary Dr. Evelyn Forte Jones, and the legendary Kayla Evans, y'all. We're going to get out of here tonight, and we're going to leave you with Auxiliary Collegiate Way. Why not? You might as well. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Hey, y'all. I'm Coach Quay.
And I'm Coach Brandon.
And we're inviting you to come join us at Auxiliary the Collegiate Way. You'll be getting trained by some of the best HBCU dancers in the SWAC. You'll be learning marches and struts, stance, and choreography. This is not your ordinary stand camp. You'll be learning some of the baddest field shows on the floor.
And this camp is not just for the dancers, it's also for our twirlers and our color guards. That's right, we have collegiate instructors coming specifically to train our twirlers and our color guards on the level it takes to be a collegiate twirler and a collegiate color guard on the field and in the stands.
Oh, and don't forget about the showcase.
That's right, the showcase. On June 7th, we're inviting you out to come support the campers as we put on a showcase. Last year's showcase was amazing, so imagine what this year's showcase will be. The camp dates are June 3rd through 7th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Camp registration per dancer is $150. However, if you are a team and you're going to be bringing 10 or more dancers, we have a special payment link for you. Hit us personally on the Passion in Performance contact. All right? Make sure you come out. Quay, let's get out of here. Hit him with the ocean beat. Oh, you ain't leaving me behind. I'm coming right after you, sis. I'm coming.